the gym with the best match you've ever seen.
Completely upgraded the mat space by about 20 times. Absolutely outdone themselves with everything that they've done. A sprung floor with like best match you can get, Zebra. It's unbelievable what they've done. Honestly, like I've never walked on a mat that's like this before. I cannot wait to watch the reactions of all the fight team as they come in and see it for the first time.
Glad this is it.
It's really special, isn't it?
It's sound, isn't it?
The biggest moment of our whole gym's life was at that night for us all.
I can't wait to train on them, man.
Hello, grappling fans around the world. We are here live at Zion Invitational number 4. As always, I am joined by the very talented Mr. Patrick Thick. Patrick, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Chris. I'm incredibly excited to be here. I can't believe it's nearly a year since we were sat back in these seats.
Has it been a year? It's been that long?
I think it's been pretty close. It's been pretty close.
And this has got even bigger this time. The venue has grown a little bit. We've got a bigger crowd here, and I think we're going to have a lot more people watching on pay-per-view because we got some absolute legends of the grappling and MMA scene on this card today. Who are you looking forward to?
We've got some amazing fights on the prelims, and I'm just giving you an early warning. I'm going to be an extremely biased commentator today. We've got some unbelievably good up-and-coming prospects from our gym here today. And then as we go back onto the main card later on this afternoon, we've got some absolute stars. We've got Jack Tiley, of course, headlining the event, and then we've got the quintet match right at the very top with Nexus and Elite.
Yeah, the Elite Submission Grappling, they're bringing a really high-level team, but they have their hands full. I mean, we've got a UFC fighter in one of these teams, I think. We've also got the previous champion that took out the whole team last time. And that Zion match. Now, Zion is kind of it's complicated, right? It's a weird rule set because it's not one-on-one grappling. The idea of team grappling, and for the people at home, it's not 2 groups of 5 running across the mat at each other.
Sadly not. That would be very entertaining.
I know we've got a little video with our promoter, Mr. Gavin Stewart, and he's got a breakdown of exactly what are the Zion rules. We'll have a little watch of that now.
Sounds good.
What's up, guys? Gavin Stewart here, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Black Belt in Banbury. A little bit about a competition I run called the Zion Invitational. We're on number 3. We started a few years ago, Zion 1, and since then it's snowballed and got bigger and bigger. It started out as just a bit of a hangout for some local clubs just to get together, have almost an interclub. Since then, we've gone full commentary, full recordings. Everybody's loving it. We're getting loads of really high-level talent coming in. The reason we do the show, the reason I had the idea for the show was a lot of the jiu-jitsu competitions are very clean, very polished, and there's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to bring a 10th Planet feel to it, a bit more of a SoCal feel, a bit more fun, and here we are on Zion 3 with a stacked card. But before we get into the card, let's have a little bit about the rules. The only 2 matches on the card that aren't sub-only is the white belt match and the juniors match. So the only difference in the rules for those is there'll be no twisting leg locks, there'll be no spine locks or neck cranks, and there'll be obviously no big slams of any kind. Everybody else, from blue belt and above, all subs legal. Every match is 8 minutes. There's no judges. Judges are redundant at the Zion Invitational. If there's a draw,
like 1 minute.
We don't just award at a draw. We go to an EBI overtime round. We had a vote on the Instagram page, and overwhelmingly you guys wanted to see the EBI overtime round come back. So we're doing that again, okay? So all subs legal, 8-minute rounds, EBI overtime.
And that is the incredible thing about these Zion rules. They've taken grappling, and sometimes grappling matches, if you get the right people, it can be so exciting, two people face off, but occasionally it's a little bit stale, or you see someone really good, and you just want to watch them go again.
Absolutely.
And the drama, the dynamic that they're going to have another match, and they're exhausted, and maybe like massive disparity in weight division, and like, that rule set is just my favorite grappling rule set.
Absolutely, and it's designed for the TV, right? It's designed to keep fans entertained. It's designed to bring as much drama as you can think of to these grappling exchanges. So, without further ado, I think it's time to hand over to Gav.
Yeah, let's go to our first match. Let's go to our MC.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! Thank you very much for coming to the third Zion Invitational. We've got a stacked card for you guys today, 25-ish matches, all really high level regardless of belt or rank. We've really taken the time to try and match the fighters to give you guys a really entertaining show. Before I introduce the first match, a little bit about the rules just for the people at home and the people in attendance. Every match is 8 minutes long. It's submission only. All matches are all submissions legal, and there are no judges at the Zion Invitational. The matches will be decided, if they're a draw, by an EBI overtime round. So, without further ado, let me introduce the first competitor fighting out of Fighting Top Team, Liam Martin!
Liam Martin coming out as our very first competitor here at Zion number 4. Liam coming off a big result at the UMAC Open, just over in Milton Keynes, not too far from here. He got a couple of wins there, went away with a silver medal, and a few people were talking about him. Put his name on the grappling map, as it were, and he's kicking off our undercard. And Dan Lester in his corner, really well-recognised grappling coach as well.
Yeah,
BST
absolutely.
faithful.
It's great to see Dan in the gym, and I've met Liam a couple of times and rolled with him. I think he's going to be a fantastic competitor. And then, of course, in the blue corner, we have Billy Miller. Billy Miller is a training partner of ours. I'm very, very excited to see him on the mats today.
And his opponent, fighting out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Banbury, Billy Miller!
This is Billy's first big competition, so a huge excitement to see Billy on the mats this morning. I'm trained with Billy a few times a week. He's just one of those guys who you see coming along really, really well, and then progressing really nicely, and then all of a sudden just shoots up. So I'm very, very confident to say that this guy's at his peak right now. I was speaking to him just before, he's handling the pressure beautifully, so very excited to see how this one goes.
And that's the thing, it's a lot more pressure than a normal competition because there's a crowd. A normal jiu-jitsu competition, there's not very much of a crowd. Everyone's looking live on the pay-per-view, commentators as well.
Absolutely.
And you get aggressive start by Liam Martin, driving forward.
Yeah, a lot of aggression early doors. See Billy looking for that overhook on the left-hand side. That's what he wants.
That's just a bit strange by Liam Martin, driving forward to the pressure. Looked like he was desperate for a takedown or top position and then pull guard, but using it to sweep, using that scissor sweep. He's going to want to drive forward and come up.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of controlling the posture. I think they're all... Yeah, now they're back in the middle. You can see the match is going to re-establish itself a little bit. I think both competitors coming out pretty hot early doors.
Yeah.
Maybe calming down a bit.
And that's something you will see. You'll see earlier on our prelim card, people come out with a frenetic pace. Oh, he's got the reap, but straight foot lock.
I think this might be
pretty
the end.
tight. That's pretty tight. People do, under this pressure, people do tend to eat straight foot locks.
They do, they do.
And they're like, my old coach used to say, you can take 1 or 2 pops, which I don't think is medical advice.
Yeah, for anyone listening, that is not good advice.
But he's put himself in a really good position here. He's got this single leg X position. So he's got his, oh no, a double outside Ashigarami, this is known as.
Absolutely.
So both feet on the outside. He's trying to cinch up his lock. He's got that rear naked choke grip on the foot.
And
gets the tap.
Yes, Billy. Beautiful.
Oh, a little bit of a struggle back to the feet, I think. Yeah, Liam Martin is okay. He gave it everything.
Do you think he ate a couple of those pops, Chris?
Yeah, he did eat a couple of pops, definitely. Well, that's that pressure, a little bit of adrenaline, makes you a bit tougher.
Yeah, he had beautiful control of the hips with that DOA position, like you were saying. Once that grip was on, it was hard to see anybody spinning out of that one. So that's a great result for Billy.
Your winner via straight ankle, Billy Miller!
What a result in front of this crowd. And this is her hometown as well, all his friends and family. We got next match. Oh no, is that the same? We got Quainan Vars-Lates taking on Josh Radin. Quainan Vars-Lates from Consistency BJJ. He's got a lot of gold medals. He's I'm gonna read them out for you. 2 times BJJ 24/7 Brighton Open gold medalist, Naga Champ gold, London Warriors Copper gold medalist, UMAC Absolute gold, and the DNA Championships gold. So this is an experienced grappling competitor.
Extremely experienced grappling
competitor. I mean, to have that many comps and still be in the blue belt division is it's insane.
And this is an under-18 match as well, if I'm not mistaken.
It's two phenomenal young guys stepping off. And sometimes it's difficult if you're in that 16 to 18-year-old in a jiu-jitsu comp. It would be the junior division still. But if you're one of those outlier guys, you want to be in the adults. Like you're you're stuck in this no man's land where you're good enough to hang with anyone. And he'll be taking on Josh Radin from 10th Planet London. He won an 8-man sub-only tournament just a few weeks ago. That was the Grapple House Invitational. And then the IBJJF London Open, he took silver medal in that. And that's possibly the toughest comp in this country as well. So incredible match coming up for you we have very shortly. I'm excited about this one.
I don't know about you, Chris, but it makes me a bit nervous about all these young guys who are coming through onto the mats with us. We've got to put up with these guys on open mats.
The trick is to get really old, not really roll and just say stories. Old man stories, that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Allow them past your guard, smile at them as they're doing it.
In my day, we didn't leg lock.
Exactly. And I believe we've got no twisting leg locks for this match as an under-18s match.
Yep.
Handing back over to Gav now for the introduction of the fighters.
Okay, guys, your next match. Introducing first, this is a 65-kilo blue belt match. Fighting out of Roger Gracie Academy, Quainan Vars-Lates!
And Quainan Vars-Lates training at the Roger Gracie Academy HQ. So there's lots of, it's a big group, the Roger Gracie Academy groups, but the centre one is HQ in London. And I've had the chance to train there quite a lot over the years. And it is a lion's den. They have comp classes where it's, you know, there's 20 black belts on the mat going at it. And I know that Quainan jumps in there as well with the adult black belts. And from what I hear, hangs quite good. He's a bit of a beast.
That's a very impressive resume to have behind you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And his opponent, fighting out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu London, Josh Radin!
Now, Patrick, I'm interested in styles in this one. Because you got the RGA, the Roger Gracie Academy, very traditional, do the basics right jiu-jitsu. And then we have 10th Planet London, which is possibly, in the jiu-jitsu world, the opposite of that spectrum. Right? It's a bit like me and you, actually.
Absolutely, we've got the classic combination, or the classic opposites of 10th Planet grappling versus the kind of more traditional, the Gracie style grappling. So very, it's always interesting to see how those two combine. And yeah, we're going to see it firsthand in front of us now.
Immediately pulled its guard as the 10th Planet guy gets a little bite on the leg early, spins through. I mean, and this is a smart game plan. These guys got the speciality of this. Oh, nice toe hold early, good strong grip.
Looks like I was incorrect about the no twisting.
I think that's the one before, but this is Quainan's just no selling it at all. Just so calm. And this is the thing.
Incredibly calm.
You're millimeters away from your foot breaking, but if you panic, it's more likely to break. You have to sort of breathe and just slowly think your way through it.
And you've got to think that
to a triangle.
That's beautiful.
Quainan defending this all wrong. He's twisting in the wrong direction. Usually he wants to be driving his left shoulder forward, and you can see he's driving his right shoulder forward, effectively making the tap.
That was unbelievable from Josh.
What transitions, just spun through.
That was incredible.
Beautiful jiu-jitsu.
You've seen him transition through, I mean, it was tough to keep track of it there, but at least
and
3 or 4 different leg entanglements. And then through that triangle beautifully. Wow. If that's anything to go by for today, it's going to be a great day.
Incredible. And to try and commentate on a transition like that is so difficult. You just sound like you're choosing random books from the words from the dictionary. You're like, it's an Imanari roll to a double outside to a honey hole to a triangle to a...
Here we have it here. Look at great guard recovery. That triangle from the guard recovery is just unbelievable.
That inverting to the triangle. Oh, I can't wait. I want to rewatch that whole match in slow motion. Click the little cog click the little cog on YouTube so you can watch it in slow motion. You know what I meant.
For those of us at home, we're just warming up into the commentary in the booth at the moment.
Patrick's very good looking and distracted, okay?
I think we're intimidating the crowd with a combined, what's it, 13 feet between us?
We are quite, yeah, it's because no one wants to fight us because we're too big, so they've stuck us in the commentary booth.
Yeah, exactly.
My explanation for it. So next up, we got George Mott taking on Bobby Lane.
And your next match, at 75 kilos, blue belt, fighting out of Umbra Combat Academy, Dino El-Maghrabi!
Oh, well, I think they've changed the order a little bit. Sorry, Dino El-Maghrabi taking on Joe Edwards in our next matchup. Dino, yeah, fighting out of Umbra Combat Academy. He got gold at Map Mania in Southampton, and he also competed on Breaking Point #1. He's got, I think, 3 or 4 wins on Smooth Comp, putting himself out there as a competitor. I like the music as well, a bit capoeira.
Absolutely.
And his opponent, fighting out of Bermuda.
I'm always very impressed with your
martial
confidence
arts,
to wear spats and no shorts.
Joe!
Oh yeah, I don't know.
You will never see that from me.
No.
As much as I would love to, it takes a certain amount of confidence to be able to deliver that, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I like the calmness of Joe Edwards coming out. He also has got 2 or 3 wins on Smooth Comp. I know he trains under black belt Liam Corrigan. It's a bit of a UK grappling legend. Can make a big difference having a good corner man. He gives you that confidence. You're like, if I get in a troublesome spot, they're going to be able to give me that good advice. Immediately in on the legs.
Yeah, nice distance control there, not getting wrapped up in that leg entanglement.
Yeah,
oh, jumping straight on
and then
that
Kimura trap. Yeah, spinning through, looking to set up an armbar with it. Loses the grip. Dino trying to pass.
Fantastic active guard work there.
Yeah, really good. I like that. Oh, Dino sits back for the leg.
Oh, has he got a counter grip?
Yeah, Joe Edwards saw that coming a mile away. Was immediately foot on the hamstring, defending. Joe trying to invert.
The pace of these matches so far, Chris, has just been amazing, isn't it? We've gone straight in with incredibly exciting entanglements.
Yeah, me and you were going to be done by lunch.
Absolutely. Brain's going to be fried.
Look, oh, beautiful kick
lovely.
through to it. Single leg X. This position here, there's always a little cheeky calf crush there. If you can reach through and grab that other thigh. Inverts. Oh, with a nice bite on the arm. Oh, looking tight, looking very tight indeed. Oh, I'm just going to review my notes and not look at that one.
Yeah.
Manages to eat it. Great flexibility. I'm impressed by his flexibility. My arm would have fallen off at that point.
Chris, what does that do for the mentality of the guy who's putting on that Kimura trap and not getting the tap from that? That's got to affect you into the rest of the match. Yeah,
you've also got to realise that your opponent is here to play keeps. You know, you got to really have something. They're not going to gift you something. Sometimes in the gym you get this false sense of what works and what doesn't because people will tap a lot sooner. But under these lights and the pressure, and Zion's become such a big deal on the UK grappling scene that this means a lot to both these fighters if they can get the nod here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we were both staring at each other trying to look at our notes there.
No.
I've personally had reconstructive surgery on my shoulder from not tapping to one of those.
Well, look at this. This is a really interesting 50-50 position. So we call it 50-50 because both of their legs are in the same place. But it's not really 50-50. If you can get a little angle or the heel, just like that.
Beautiful.
And the reason he was able to do that, he got the 50-50, and he was able to take Dino's feet apart. So if you want to be safe in the 50-50, you want to keep your feet crossed.
And your winner,
outside foot over
inside
the top,
heel hook, Joe
defending your
Edwards!
heel. In that position, Joe Edwards managed to separate the feet. And Dino, and then he had his own feet together. So all of a sudden, Dino's feet are very vulnerable, and his feet are safe because he's got one leg protecting the other. And it means you can then attack. So it's no longer 50-50. My coach used to call it, now it's 80-20.
Yeah.
Or you can choose any percentage you like. And he was able to use that to dive on the heel and finished it beautifully. Really good heel hook. Look at that arm.
Oh, God.
Woo!
Absolutely.
Don't like that at all.
And this 50-50 position there, it's such an interesting position to be in, isn't it? And like you say, he's done a fantastic job of getting some heel exposure there by separating the leg. Obviously, that outside leg stopped from being able to protect the inside leg to then get the heel exposure. But it's a fascinating position, isn't it? Because often in 50-50, some of your attacking plays are going to be fantastic defensive plays as well, because the more you're attacking the feet, the less likely they are to be attacking your feet and thinking about defense. So it's one of those really interesting positions where everybody does it differently. All the defenses are all coming different shapes and sizes.
And your next match at 66 kilos in the blue belt division, fighting out of Hensel BJJ, George Mott!
George Mott, Henshaw BJJ. George Mott took gold in the UK ADCC in his division, and he also took gold at Grappling Industries. So coming in super experienced and beautiful hair.
Absolutely.
It's important. The hair helps, I think. Anyone that has long hair and grapples, I always think is triple hard. Because like,
yeah,
it just gets ripped out all the time. There's always little hairballs everywhere when you've got someone with long hair. But
you've got an extra level of toughness if you can...
And his opponent, fighting out of ESG, Bobby Lane!
And Bobby Lane, on his smooth comp profile, 22 wins. It's a lot of grappling experience. Grappling Industries, the last one, he took a silver. Then ADCC Wales took a gold. So it's a really good matchup. I'm talking about the matchmaking here at Zion Invitational number 4. This is the one. This is like so evenly matched on paper, but they haven't met in competition.
Coming out really confident and calm there as well.
Yeah. Jed Hugh in his corner as well. That's got to give you confidence. One of the best grapplers in the world. They're fighting for grips early. Oh, lovely throw. Yeah, that throw is called a lat drop. He's now trying to pummel his legs in. He wants to get his right leg clear. So usually, you really worry about a right underhook. You can see Bobby Lane's right arm is under the arm of George Mott. And if he can control that side, usually it means you're in a good position to start trying to pass. It's very hard for the guy on the bottom.
Yeah,
just
beautiful.
like that. And now spins for the arm.
Has he got a Kimura trap in there? It looks a bit like it, doesn't it?
Straight up. Yeah. Coming through, looking for a straight armbar, I think now. He's going to want it. Yeah. Oh, beautiful defense by George Mott. Kept the pressure now. He's sat back on the leg.
Oh, that's a beautiful transition into a leg lock there.
Yeah, and Bobby Lane immediately turning his foot to the outside and countering with a leg lock of his own.
Giving him a bit of heel exposure there.
Spinning across the mat. Once again, we're in this 50-50 position. It's such a... The problem with this position as well is you just get stuck there. It's very, very hard to exit. Unlike other positions where you can sort of get out, and now it's...
Oh, Texas cloverleaf coming there.
I like a Texas cloverleaf. It's another one where I think guys will eat it in competition, though.
Yeah, gets that figure 4 back to protect the heel again.
Yeah, Bobby Lane with a super tight heel hook attempt, but George Mott just absolutely no selling it.
Now he's got control of both the legs, so beautifully exited there.
It's one of those things that this rolling off the mat, you want to avoid the temptation, just pull the heel, because then you get this roll. You're almost trying to use your armpit to push the foot down. It's a weird sensation.
Absolutely.
Both of these guys know this, of course. Super high-level grapplers.
We've got a straight ankle lock coming there. I think he's going to struggle to finish that with it across his body.
50-50 again.
That looks like a decent bite on the heel there.
One of the things I like to do for 50-50 is try and separate their legs and pass one across. So then you're in the double outside ashigarami, and they can't use their other foot to defend all your attacks. Because at the moment, Bobby Lane's getting a fantastic bite on the heel, but George Mott is free to use his other foot to try and kick it off.
Absolutely. And that's the kind of dichotomy of it all, isn't it? How much of that leg do you use to protect yourself, and then how much of it do you, by stamping on the heel, and then how much of it do you use to try and kick off your opponent's hands from the grips?
He's done what I just said, see. He's passed it to the other side. Oh, another bite on the foot.
This is a proper 50-50 shootout, isn't it?
Ooh. Both evenly matched in these leg locks exchange, and also the flexibility. My leg would have fallen off by now.
Both competitors got...
Yeah. Oh, gets the tap. Bobby Lane, what a transition. Comes through. I think with the belly down position they ended up in, it's just George Mott could no longer roll to take the pressure off the heel.
Absolutely, and then he got control
and
of both of the legs.
And your winner by a heel hook, Bobby Lane!
What a match. I mean, what a frenetic pace to Zion number 4.
This is unbelievable, isn't it? I don't think I've seen 4 matches back-to-back end in submissions as they have, and then for them to be as quickly finished as they have been, it's fantastic to commentate on. Gives us lots to talk about.
There's been no boring sitting in closed guard today. Well, there might not be all day. This is great.
And that's exactly what we were talking about the quintet format being perfect for television.
Yeah.
The EBI rule set that we're working on now is really geared towards making these matches as entertaining as possible. All subs legal, there's no points, there's no any positions, or we're not trying to encourage positions that you can stall in, just trying to make everything as exciting as possible.
Yeah. I think we've sort of figured out the rules. I don't understand why there's still so many competitions that are points focused and like that side of it hasn't gone away. The EBI rule, it's so simple to referee. It's very hard to like dispute, like, oh, I should have got point for that, point for that. It's very fair. And even if you do, you can change the rules and take heel hooks out and things like that if you want to make it so,
And your next
more.
match,
But
75 kilo in the blue belt division, fighting out of Leicester Shoot Fighters, Luke Williams.
Luke Williams, flying out of Leicester Shoot Fighters. He's got 5 wins on a smooth comp. He got gold at the Pro Sport Grappling Championships over in Bristol and silver in the Somerset Open. So he's coming out pretty experienced.
Absolutely, and Luke trains with us a little bit here in the gym. He's a fantastic competitor. I've had some fantastic roles with him, and I think I first met him a couple of years ago. He was a little bit younger. He's put on a fair bit of weight since then. His leg entries are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. He's got a really, really good understanding of the entanglements. So yeah, excited for a show from
his
him.
opponent, fighting out of Hodger Gracie Academy, Conrad Barr!
Conrad, very, very experienced. He's 12 wins on smooth comp, took gold at Grappling Industries London, also took gold at the English Open. So, and look at that leopard rash guard. I mean, that's got to make you 10% better.
Yeah, something rude about Craig Jones on the back of it.
This should be a good one. Immediately hanging, heavy on the head. It's all about the snap down. It's trying to get a reaction out of someone. You snap them down, then you can duck under and get your double leg.
Luke's very good at getting the inside position in these hand fighting exchanges. Nice, he's got a front headlock position. See what he can get to work on here.
Yeah, he's trying to drag him down, and he does. Spins to the back straight away.
Conrad doing a good job of not letting the not giving any space on the far side.
I like that foot on the heel as well. That's beautiful. Good job to spin back around for Conrad box. Gets back to a full guard. Well, butterfly guard. So butterfly guard is when your shins are under their legs. Usually you try and use it to elevate.
Yeah, it's a great sweeping position, right, Chris?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite positions, especially in this new leg lock game, because you're sort of safer.
Yeah, exactly. Hiding the legs underneath them.
Yeah. Once again, Luke Williams with the pressure. He's got this mount position, but he's got his foot caught. It's usually referred to in jiu-jitsu as quarter guard, where it just limits your ability to go for submissions from the mount. You can't just throw your leg over for an arm bar or something like that, or a triangle, because they've just got that foot trapped. And the question is, do you come off to the side and try and slide your foot out and go to side control, or try and sneak to the back, because then you've already got one hook. And I think he's looking for the back. Oh, steps through, looking for a body triangle from the back now.
Yeah, and Conrad had limited options there, and Luke's done a fantastic job of getting the back exposure from it. Has he got an arm under neck there? He's got a nice body triangle working.
Yeah, that body triangle is a nightmare to deal with. And it's so much better than having hooks. When you've got a body triangle, you don't have to worry. You've got the body triangle so tight, you don't need control of them moving up and down. So it means you don't need to keep one hand under their armpit in that seat belt position. You can use both hands to start attacking the neck.
Absolutely, and Conrad's doing what seems to be a good job of the hand fighting here, but he's in a really, really tricky spot now. Luke's got that tight body triangle. He's right on the edge of the mat. He's really limited to space.
Get out though.
Yeah, nice.
He's coming up with that underhook. Should mean he gets on top and immediately steps to pass. Good shoulder pressure. What a comeback this would be for Conrad.
Luke using the lockdown there to keep the distance, but
yeah, Conrad's trying to use his right leg to peel the leg to work his left leg out that half guard.
There we go. Yeah.
Good sliding to mount. Oh, it's very high. Might better switch to a triangle. He's got, just loses it. Ends up in full guard.
Ref's going to bring him back into the middle there. That's a really good recovery in the match from Conrad there. that back position with the locked-in body triangle looked very, very difficult to get out of, but he's done well to get back on top and get some attacking plays going.
It's one of those things I've been watching and scouring YouTube and instructionals for good body triangle escapes for many years, and no one's got a good one. Like, everyone's got one. There's a few, but none of them that work that effectively. It's just one of those positions.
It's the king of the back positions, right?
Yeah, nightmare. Trying to get a bite on the leg. At the moment, the knee line is not there. Oh,
yeah,
but he's got a good chunk of heel, though.
He's got a really good bite on the heel there, but he just needs to get the knee line up towards him a bit. Looks like Luke might have a grip on this straight ankle there if he can get the posture.
Yeah, Luke doing well. Ends up in this double outside Ashigarami position. He's losing the leg, wants to pull the heel.
And once again, we're back in a 50-50 type position.
Yep.
But Conrad's got his foot trapped.
It's such a weird position to be in. You sort of, when you have two guys closely matched, you sort of take it in turns to try and break each other's feet here. It's a weird game.
Both defending quite well, but it does look like Luke's got a bit of a grip.
Yeah, really nice grip. Now he's in on the heel.
So now he's got to try and get that heel exposure on the inside. But this is, again, that dichotomy of the more Conrad attacks, the harder it is for Luke to focus on his own attack, turning into a bit of a defense for himself.
Yeah, generally you give the advantage in this 50-50 to whoever's sort of facing the legs. If you can get on your side and you're looking at their feet, it's just as, then you can dig for the heel, just as we see Luke Williams doing right now.
And it's interesting because we've seen a lot of guys getting really good heel exposure, really good grips on the foot, but the knee line hasn't been quite there, and they're kind of struggling to finish these positions, right, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about, that knee line. You've got to control the whole, if you're trying to twist someone's foot but their knee is free, you're just moving their whole leg. You won't get the pressure to tap it. Been a bit obsessed with wrist locks recently. You have to control the elbow line. If you want to break someone's wrist.
I think I can say with a relative degree of confidence that I don't think I've ever wrist locked anyone.
What? Got to live a little, buddy.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
It's more humiliating than being heel hooked, I find. People get really upset.
I have got a bit of a sympathy for the mother's milk, though. Or the brother's milk. You can tell that we call that high-calorie grappling.
High-calorie grappling. You need a rash guard. High-calorie grappling. Once again, when it's 50-50, Luke's slightly ahead. He's got slightly better grips. And like I said, he's trying to get on his side, where you're seeing Conrad just sat a bit more upright. Dean Lister would always talk about how you want to separate the feet and turn towards them, and that puts you in the 80-20. Oh, he's got a good bite on the heel, though, does Conrad Box. Very good bite.
Both struggling for the knee line, but he does look like he's got it now.
And this is the thing with this 50-50. They can kick to free it with the other leg. The leg is on the same side. So you sort of want to roll on top of their heel if you're trying to finish the heel hook from 50-50. So your body is blocking the second leg from coming in. Oh, good job coming back to the feet. Keeps the single. It's going to be coming up on it. Oh, dumps him to the floor.
Okay, back to a closed guard. It'll be really interesting to see this play out here now. I feel like both of them have...
passed the butterfly so easily. It shouldn't be that easy.
Beautiful guard recovery from Conrad, though.
Yeah.
Conrad trying to wrestle up, getting himself... Oh, lovely.
I thought on paper this would be a very, very close matchup, and that's exactly how it's played out. They're both very similar experienced competition-wise. Quite similar games as well.
Interesting to see if he pulls rubber guard here. It's a lot of gaining popularity as a bit of a counter to the body lock.
Yeah.
We saw Mason Fowler using that against Nicky Rod on the weekend there. Conrad gets the pass, though.
I find with using the body lock to stop the butterfly counter, as long as you keep your head in the right place to stop the leg coming over, whichever leg they're trying to pass over, drive your head to that side. You can negate it normally. Just again playing butterfly. So with butterfly, the guy on the bottom, you don't really want to be flat. You want to be sat up.
Yeah.
And you want to try and keep your head below theirs, so you can bring their weight on top of you onto your chest, and then you can start elevating their legs because their weight is no longer on their legs, it's on you. And that will start giving you sweeps, it gives you entries to leg locks. But Luke Williams can see that. And that's why he's keeping his weight back, keeping his head below Conrad's. And now he's trying to work through this half guard.
And you really want to avoid in that butterfly position, getting your heels tucked up into your bum, is that right?
Yeah, well, the very end of the sweep, you want them there. It's just the setup point to that point. I love a bit of butterfly. You're tall, you must love butterfly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the spot.
Butterfly half. Now we've got 5 seconds left. I think we're going to be going into overtime. Now the ref's got a very difficult decision to make now.
Yeah, who's being more aggressive? I guess probably Luke Williams. He's had the back with that body triangle. He's also finishing on top, sort of counts for a lot. Now these overtime rules, Patrick, can you explain to our viewers at home what's going to happen right now? Because that's the end of the match, but it's not over.
Absolutely. So we're going to overtime now, and this is one of my favourite ways of deciding really, really tight matches like this. So the referee is going to decide who he believed was going to be the more dominant in that match. He's obviously gone with Conrad there. He now gets the choice of two options, either starting on the arm, which is going into the spiderweb position, or starting on the back. Once the timer goes on, Conrad's got 2 minutes to either submit or Luke to escape.
Yep. Oh, Luke is out fast.
Straight away. So that makes it incredibly difficult for Conrad now. So Luke is going to have the same option again. So he gets either his back or his arm. It's very, very sensible now to go to the back. It's much easier to hold on to the back than it is in that spiderweb position. And all he's got to do is ride the clock out. I think it can't be more than 10 seconds, right? And that's beautiful control there.
Yeah, he's going to just squeeze him, isn't he? He's going to make sure it goes over the time.
Yeah, and that's a very good example of somebody winning very effectively on overtime.
I think Conrad was a bit confused by the rules. He thought you get 3 goes. Only 1 go here at Zion.
We've got stuff to do, Chris.
We do? What would you like to do?
No, I mean for the 3 rounds instead of...
oh, yeah, I see. Sorry.
We got matches to go.
That was... Oh, what a match. I mean, the only one that's actually gone to overtime, and it was not a boring match. That was back and forth the whole time. Absolutely incredible. And what incredible matchmaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the big takedown. Look at this.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, and those 50-50 leg exchanges were brilliant. You really weren't able to call it either way.
Okay,
both of them getting fantastic exposure, fantastic grips.
Okay.
But neither of them able to get the knee line and then ultimately finish it, right?
Yeah, very much so. And we got some... Let's talk a little bit, while we're waiting for our next competitors, about our quintet we got later on. And Mr. Tom Brees, have you ever heard of him?
Oh, I think I have, yeah. From being really, really good at everything.
Really good at everything. He's a Leon Edwards grappling coach. I mean, pretty good. Or UFC fighter himself. Now I think he's PFL. An incredible, like, on the scene. He's been on every grappling show as well in the world. And all-round nice guy. Remember, did meet him a couple of times. And just incredible, incredible grappling. And I was seeing this interview where someone was asking Leon Edwards, they were like, how did you get so good at grappling? Especially in the UK, they're like, you know, in the UK, the level of wrestling is a lot lower than America. And he's like, I don't need to train in America. I got Tom Brees. It's like, well,
and that's an incredible
that's all you need.
To come out with, isn't it? Absolutely. And he's, of course, joined by Brad Boyden.
Yeah, he did all right last time.
Yeah, I think he did pretty good, didn't he? I think he just cleared out the entire team, didn't he?
It was like, it felt like I was watching like some cheesy 80s action movie, like Brad. It was like, if you wrote that in a movie, you wouldn't believe it. It's like, he beat 5 men in a row. You'd be like, no, he didn't. And I was watching this like, no way did he do that. But anyway, we are just cutting back right now.
Okay, so a little bit about the EBI overtime rule set, okay? It's the brainchild of Eddie Bravo. If the match goes to a draw, rather than do a judge's decision, referee's decision, or both lose, both win, we go to an overtime round, okay? It's not where you want to be, but it's a very good, entertaining way. It's a lot like a penalty shootout in a football match, okay? So, the rule set is you can choose either back or spiderweb armbar position, okay? The referee will decide, and this is non-negotiable, the referee will decide who he thinks or she thinks was the most dominant player in that match. That person will be given the decision. Do they want to attack first or defend first? And do they want back or spiderweb? So they'll choose that. Let's say they choose the back. The attacker starts with 2 hooks and a seatbelt control. The defender is allowed to control the seatbelt, and that's it. The referee will say go. We go for a 2-minute round until there's either a finish, a tap, or the person escapes. The escape time will be recorded, and then we switch the roles. The attacker gets to attack and the defender gets to defend. Same rule applies. If there's no submission, it's the quickest escape time that wins, or obviously if there's a submission, then it's game over for that person. If both people submit, it's the quickest person to submit, and if by a miracle there was an exact escape time draw, we go again until we get a clear decisive win.
We are back live. We have a huge match coming up next. We have Kieran Peacock facing off against Reese Hamilton. Grapple Rat taking on Force Submission BJJ. And later on, our main event before the quintet, we have Asim Hussein taking on Jack Tyler. I was Asim's coach when he was white to blue belt. And even then, this kid was just like a monster. I couldn't believe how good he was. He was like, when you're rolling with a white belt that's only been training 6 months, this is like 10 years ago, by the way. 6 months at the time, you're like, how can he be this good? And he just was.
Okay, guys, your next match at 73 kilo in the blue belt division. Fighting out of Grapple Rat,
on the competition scene. He's one of 10th Planet London, I think possibly 10th Planet London's best competitor at the moment. So it's going to be a fantastic match, right?
Yeah, very much so. I just spotted in the crowd Lee Remedios. Do you know Lee Remedios? He fought on the UFC 30 brawl at the Royal Albert Hall. He's here. I like Lee Remedios. Yeah, I've got to train with him a few times. I saw him wander around. I'll introduce you.
Please do.
It was the same car that Ian the Machine Freeman fought Frank Mir. Oh wow, it's pretty cool.
And his opponent.
Can you imagine the feeling that you get when you get a call from the UFC? You say, yeah, we're quite interested in matching up against Frank Mir. Yeah, he keeps shattering everybody's arm.
Yeah, I'll have a go. Go on. Reese Hamilton looking very pumped to go. There's a lot to live up to now. We've had like 5 incredibly exciting matches.
Absolutely, and we're still at blue belt, I believe, 73 kilos, so going up in weight slightly.
Yep.
Both of these guys look really excited for this. Let's see how we get on.
Me and you were talking about how the belts has become a bit ridiculous before this event. The level we've seen so far, and you're like, they're blue belts. They are not blue belts. No one's a blue belt.
You walk into an open mat and you see guys giving exchanges like that, and you think, are we? Yeah,
ADCC trials.
Yeah. are we on the same system? Both guys looking pretty calm and relaxed.
Yeah, digging for underhooks, trying to get strong grips. And this is the first battle. The first battle is the grips. The grip sets up the throw. There's all these micro battles going on for grip and position and angle. And sometimes it almost looks like nothing's happening, but there's these tiny battles going on just to get your foot in a slightly different place or a slightly different grip.
Everybody's going for the inside position, right? And yeah, it's difficult to make anything work unless you've got what you need.
Reese Hamilton trying to work this
incredibly insightful bit of commentary.
Knee shield position. He's trying to get a bite on that leg. I think he wants to invert, get an entry onto Kieran Peacock's left leg.
Looks like he might be threatening the K-guard there a bit, but he's not committing to that underhook on the far side leg. Now he's got it pinned. It's very, very difficult to hold the guard once that arm's pinned, or the wrist pinned, sorry, rather, isn't it?
Mm. There's a real battle going on here. Like Kieran Peacock, he doesn't want to give much space. He doesn't want Reese Hamilton to invert and get a bite on the legs. It's a chess match.
And there's a couple of different options here, isn't there? There's obviously the option of sitting back and dropping out onto the legs, depending on. Yeah, and he's done well to create some distance there.
All steps around, beautiful pass. The timing on that.
Straight into that front headlock position.
Oh, just missed it.
Looking like a Peruvian necktie there. Wow, this is a fantastic pace again from all of the competitors we've seen so far today.
That pass was so simple. Just timed it to step round, get the knee in the way of his opponent's legs, control the position. Pummeling.
Going for that Kimura trap. It's difficult to get it to work from there and from the butterfly guard position or an open guard position, isn't it?
Kieran back to his feet. Trying to look to pass again.
Some friendly taps on the head there.
The pass is not going to work the second time. That's the issue. Oh, lovely knee slide through in the middle. I love that knee cut. It's all timing. People are like, oh, you got to get the underhook and control the arms. It's just timing. I think you don't need any grips if you get it right.
Doing a good job of controlling the inside space on the top there, but he's struggling to get that underhook on the far side, isn't he?
Yeah, if he can get a right arm underhook and then ideally his left arm in the face of Reese Hamilton, then he'll be able to put pressure and pass through, but it's back to his feet. Oh, almost tripped over.
And is Reese giving him a bit of an opportunity with his legs there in the guard?
Yeah, we've seen Reese Hamilton look at the legs. He's gone for a couple of grips where you think, oh, maybe he's trying to invert for a leg lock, but doesn't seem to be overly in on it.
Go.
That would be a weird leg lock to get from there. Because you just don't have control over their body, so even if you grab the leg, they can spin out of it. But sometimes you can use a submission attempt that's not there to get something else, to get a reaction, to get the position.
Threaten a reaction, yeah.
Oh, looking for a Darce choke. He's going to sink his right arm through as deep as he can get it. You can definitely finish this Darce even if your foot's caught in half. Sometimes it's easier.
Sometimes it locks you in, right?
He's trying to get his arms through. He does have long arms, this Kieran Peacock. He needs to dig his right arm a little bit deeper.
And his chest position looks pretty good, but I wonder if he's got the bite on the neck.
Yeah, it's all about how he is on the neck. And then they call it a Darce choke, but 99% of the time I think it's a Darce crank.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's just getting it deeper and deeper. He's working it in.
You've got to be really careful not to gas your arms out in these kind of positions, right?
Yeah, he's lost it now.
It looks like he's doing a really good job of framing off in defense.
Reese Hamilton was defending that by pinning his head backwards. Blocks the Kieran Peacock from getting his arm deeper and being able to lock it to his bicep. Oh, lovely sweep to the leg.
Beautiful entry.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Fantastic. So fast. That's the problem. You get swept and they're already on their leg. It just jumps on. It just dives on because your weight's going backwards, your foot's going the other way.
Yeah, and he was playing a really dynamic kind of Z guard there, wasn't he?
And your winner by
it looked as if that Darce choke was looking pretty good. But like you were saying earlier, the attacking, sometimes the attacks set up other stuff and bait your opponent into giving you stuff that you wouldn't otherwise get.
A lot of these leg locks are for that. If you can even leg locks full stop, if you can threaten them, guard passing is easier. Because people are worried about giving you a bite on the leg and then you can pass the legs because they're pulling them away from you. Wrist locks are going to make you fall in love with them. You get the same reaction. If you want a Kimura, if you don't, so like even that Darce position, sometimes the arm that's in the Darce, as you're trying to dig your other hand through, you can reach back and start wrist locking it, and people will dig through trying to save their own wrist, and then their head is in the right place to finish the Darce.
I have a feeling that when I come down to visit, I've got a few wrist locks coming my way.
I'm getting okay at them. I can't get them on anyone good yet, but
you'll be all right on me then.
I'm sure I won't get you. It's the trick is hitting the wrist, because everyone stiffs their wrist. It's quite hard to bend a stiffed wrist, but if you get a little impact, it bends.
And your next match,
that's good.
At 82 kilo in the blue belt category, fighting out of Elite Submission Grappling, Jacob Gatzon.
Way better than this one.
Don't get Gav started on Krav Maga.
No, I'm not a Krav Maga fan. It's also just how often you were attacked by a man with an assault rifle. It doesn't happen to me a lot.
No, and if it's not, I'm not going. If I do, I'm not going for a wrist lock.
This is how you jam the mechanism. I'm like, no, this is how it was. Do as I'm told. Comply.
Probably going to say sorry pretty quickly.
We've got Jacob Gutterfleias. I probably said your name wrong, buddy, but
and
coming
his
out
opponent,
representing
fighting
ESG.
out of Impact MMA, Will Clayton.
So Jacob, who just saw come out, he got bronze at Naga. He did Cage BJJ 8 in front of a big old crowd, show a bit like this, and he got a gold in that. But he's facing off with Will Clayton, who he's got 4 wins on Smooth Comp, and he got a bronze, at the recent Grappling Industries. They're also quite similarly sized, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Very similar body shapes there. And what can you, do you look at a fight as they're walking out? Are you kind of monitoring what their facial expressions are? Are you looking at how calm they are? What kind of stuff are you looking for?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, it's because you can be supremely confident and look at the floor because you're in your own zone. It's not like, oh, you can hurl yourself into a flying guillotine.
Jeez.
Woo! What a jump. Oh, and it's immediately rubber guard, but, oh. Go-go platter attempt. Loses it. So go-go platter is when you try and choke someone with your shin. Very rare submission.
Absolutely. Not in this gym, thankfully.
Oh, well, this is, well, yeah, probably not here. Now he's on the arm.
He's got a bite on the arm.
Back to the leg. Frenetic pace by Jacob.
All of these matches have just been unbelievable.
Going for the arm again.
Yeah, looks like he's got an armbar in there some ways.
He's spinning out the back. This is what you want. You want to spin right through. Yeah. And the person can't posture. That's leg scissors.
Really good defense there.
Look at that. Uses the hook. His left foot to better climb onto the back.
Is he going to be able to? Yeah.
And that grip on the wrist that he's got with his left arm there, it stops Will turning back in. And he lost the grip and Will immediately turned back in. It was all about that grip at that point.
Has he been able to get inside the arm there?
The mat wall is making it a little bit difficult, but this is locked in with an angle. Looking pretty tight, I think. This is very close to over. He's a little high.
Yeah, oh, beautiful. Those transitions were fantastic, weren't they?
Domination.
Just one after the other, after the other, after the other. All started with that big flying guillotine attempt, and then he was just in his guard.
This is the thing, you can't be attacking if you're just defending constantly.
And your winner,
like classic
choke,
expression, but like
Jacob
the best defense is good offense. I mean, we saw it right there. Just attacked and attacked and attacked. Wow, what a performance. We got a replay of the flying guillotine attempt. It was about 10 foot. Look at that. The height he got on that was incredible. Flying through the air.
And like you were saying, that control on his opponent's left arm there is what I think gave him the inside space on the transition, isn't it?
Yeah. And he's through and then snuck his knee through, got the grips. All done. Absolute domination. Fantastic performance. Jacob, I can't wait to see you on the next one. Let's get you back on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see you go for more than a minute. I think we could have a tournament here at Zion. Don't you think? I won like an 8-man tournament. We've got a lot of like 70 to 80 kilo blue belts. It could be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We should do a proper smoker, proper interclub.
And your next match.
Now we've got a good friend of mine now,
83 kilo blue belt division.
Very
competing out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Banbury, Ed Smith.
Ed's been a blue belt for I think about 18 months now. He's a very good, has a very, very solid bottom game, likes to play from his back a little bit, but also very good at wrestling up and getting on top and working some side control attacks. Beautiful.
Silver at UMAC recently, I think, as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's got his hands full. Scott Stanley from Jay Butler BJJ also took a silver in UMAC.
And
but that was
his
the year
opponent,
before.
fighting out of the Institute of Grappling.
Fun fact about Ed Smith is, when I first got to know Ed 3 or 4 years ago, about 3 weeks after we first met, we competed against each other in the same weight bracket.
You did?
Ed Smith, when I first met him, was over 110 kilos.
Now he's 85.
And now look at the shape he's in now. He looks fantastic. So really, really excited to see him work now.
So go on Instagram, ask Ed how he lost all the weight. Maybe he's Shenton, Ed Smith. Immediately pulls butterfly. He's going to be looking to elevate with the legs, upset the base and the balance. And then the overwrap is also, you'll see he's got his left arm really overwrapped. It does set up like rubber guard in some of these classic 10th Planet positions, but not when you've got a butterfly, because you can't bring your left leg over because it's trapped underneath them.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to work to go for the lockdown.
Oh, this is what he wanted.
Yeah.
See, for me, from my non-10th Planet point of view, it seems like a step backwards to go from butterfly to half guard, but it's that thing, if you've got a speciality position, if he's so good at lockdown that he thinks this will be where he gets the win, and he's from here he wants to like whip up, right? Get
yeah,
to his side.
So what Ed's going to try and do now is use that lockdown to bring his weight over his left side so that his opponent has to base.
Yeah.
And that is going to give him that underhook back. It looks like he's doing a really, really good job of, or Scott's doing a really good job of putting pressure on the top, but that's it. He wants his underhook back. Now he's going to go to what we call electric unders. And he's going to try and work down to an electric chair by the looks of things. So that's exactly what he wants. He's going to have an underhook on Scott's left leg with his right arm. And he wants to bring his weight over him to take all the weight off the leg. And that's the one he's going to attack.
It's such a classic 10th Planet thing to do as well, is to come out underneath. I actually really like this move, and I do use it in the gym, but you get the occasional person who does yoga or something, and they just laugh at you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really frustrating.
And unfortunately, you then just have to go for the sweep instead. But you're absolutely right. Sometimes they just look up at you and laugh, and you go, oh.
Yeah, I remember when the vaporizer was like popularized, popping out the back and then pulling the sort of modified calf crush. I was like, yes, I've got something to do on bendy people.
Yeah. There's also a great leg lock transition from that, from a failed electric chair. If you don't come over for the sweep, there's a great leg lock transition in there as well. Jamie Scott at 10th Planet London head coach,
he's got it.
That a lot.
He's got it.
Here he goes.
It. He's going to try and get the full stretch.
Yeah, there you go. If you can get that bottom leg up through.
Got a bite on the heel. Woo. I think Lewis thought about tapping and did. I mean, Patrick, you're a psychic. Incredible.
I have the honour of training with him a lot.
Yeah. Beautiful that. Went from the butterfly, sort of almost gave up half guard so he could work his lockdown game. Got the sweep to the electric chair, bailed on that, went to that leg entry that you were talking about. Very smooth.
Yeah, and Scott was doing all the right stuff. He was pressuring in, he was putting a lot of pressure. We call it the pimp arm, which is the right arm on your opponent's hip when you're in that lockdown position trying to get to space. Scott was doing a really good job of fighting that pimp arm and creating pressure at the top, but Edwards managed to get underneath him, get the leg exposed, and then transition into that leg lock. Fantastic.
Yeah, very, very good.
We love to see it, Chris. We love to see it.
We like a bit of 10th Planet here, don't we?
Yeah, we're pretty partial to
it. We will be having our next fight of the evening, or match of the evening, where we have Richard Fernando taking on Max Calmier. This should be a good one as well. Max has got a very, very, very good record. He took gold at the PGJ 24/7 Brighton Open. I think he's got 10 or 11 wins on smooth comp as well. The standard, I mean, even from the last one, we're talking about how that was a year ago. Me and you were working together.
And your next match in the purple belt, 77 kilo bracket.
I'm so glad I'm the old generation to have to fight any of these kids.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the transitions that we've been looking through, particularly the leg game, it's just so high level. And these guys were all, I think so far, this might be our first purple belt match of the evening. So technically, by the belt ranking system, this is our first advanced match. And we've been seeing some unbelievable jiu-jitsu so far, so...
Yeah, no one's really what their belts are. I'm sure most of these all the guys we've seen so far could walk into a standard gym and tap out 99% of the people there. Like the Forestra Jiu-Jitsu standout, Richard Fernando. It's also coming off a silver medal at the Wiltshire Open. Oh, it's just so... I love this. I love this sport. It's like... It's sort of
his opponent,
grassroots, but growing.
Havering Jiu-Jitsu, Max Calmier.
It's also the attitude of the competitors. It doesn't have that thing that MMA does, all the mean mugging and the trash talking and all that stuff. Maybe at the top level it does, but everyone's pretty friendly. You know, it's all shaking hands and hugs, and it's just an expression of skill. Let's just go see who's better, and then afterwards,
absolutely,
have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, you know, these fantastic things you can have. You know, a legendary competitor like yourself come in and do a seminar at a gym.
Me?
Share some, you know, share some fantastic knowledge, and then, you know, the roles afterwards. Everybody's rolling with everybody. There's no, you know, there's no kind of us and them attitude. You really do get to meet your heroes. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's incredible for that. Immediately to the floor. Max Calmier, happy to play this butterfly position, trying to pummel that foot in, or half butterfly. Locking that knee shield. Very good, pushing the head. Trying to pass the legs as Richard Fernando. He's trying to sit back. He doesn't want to give entries to Max. He doesn't want to give him too much space, but you almost need the space to get the pass because you need to get your leg out. Oh, good.
Looking for a shoulder crunch there, maybe a Choi bar attempt.
Yeah, it's gone from this, like, what's Gordon Ryan doing, to now everyone everywhere is doing that shoulder crunch sweep. It's become quite a standard part. Again, trying to look for a knee slide. It's for Richard Fernando. Real chess game going on here. Just swapping grips, little bit of position. It all gets a nice bite on a Kimura trap.
When you're in this bottom position here, Chris, what do you, how does this lend to your game? What kind of stuff are you trying to do? Are you looking to sweep, or are you looking to attack the legs?
You got kind of two personalities, and depends on your body type. Some people kind of invert, they want to just get inverted and come on the legs. Or someone else, maybe like myself or yourself, where you're a bit bigger and taller, you want the space. So I'm always trying to back away. I'm always trying to make move, even post on the head so I can get back to my feet.
Yeah, yeah. Almost wrestle up in that, create the space, cross-side shoulder.
Yeah, if you're bigger than your opponent, trying to invert underneath them, underneath their knees is difficult. But what a great work by Richard Fernando. He's got the pass, he's worked him out. It's very, remember Hickson Gracie video, I used to watch it talking about, you go to A, you go to B, you go to C, you never go backwards. And that's exactly what Richard Fernando is doing here. He's just slowly, patiently working up the positions.
Yeah, beautiful kipping escape there from the mount, but he's straight back into side control.
Yeah, he's got great pressure. You can see it. You can always see someone that's got good side control because their knees are always touching their opponent.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's got that right knee in his hip, not giving him any space. Yeah, this is lovely control. Good active guard retention. Has he got back into a half guard there? Yeah.
Lockdown.
There you go, man after my own heart.
Lockdown's built for people that like stalling, you know. You go with someone a high about, you get locked down and you wait 5 minutes and you call it a draw. What?
Gavin Stewart and myself are incredibly offended by that.
There goes my bonus. I was being slightly sarcastic after the electric chair in the last fight. Okay, once again, Richard Fernando trying to attack from the mount, but because his foot is caught in this quarter guard position, if he throws his leg over for a triangle or an armbar, it's going to be very, very hard to finish.
Yeah, it looks like he got the better of that lockdown position and has advanced into that quarter guard, like you say. And he's now working his way up, making sure that he doesn't lose control of the head and neck whilst he's on his way up, because you can get up too high, lose control of this kind of shoulder line, and then them end up wriggling out underneath you, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm in that quarter guard position, I like to try and use it to get to the back, because then if you do get to the back, you've already got one hook, kind of halfway there. Easier said than done when you're against someone as talented as Max.
That's a beautiful pass, and then transition straight into mount.
Yeah, great hip movement. Good transition to side control. He moves so smoothly, says Richard Fernando. But we haven't seen either fighter close to a submission attempt yet. It's all control.
Yeah, I think this is the first match we've seen where we're seeing an element of cooking.
Yeah.
You know, all of the matches up to here have been really frenetic, high-paced.
And it's smart, you know, it can be a smart strategy. You want to let your opponent tire out. When you're in a dominant position, you don't want to take too many risks. They should be working harder than you if you're on top.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you explain to the audience that concept of cooking and taking a slow pace, pressuring your opponent? What does that really mean in its kind of truest sense?
Well, you want someone to make a mistake some of the time. You know, leave their arm out so you can armbar it, leave a leg out so you can catch a footlock. So if you put pressure on them constantly, people get frustrated and then they start making that mistake. And even if they don't make a mistake, just the frustration of someone being on top of you the whole time, they're sort of resting, being a dead weight, and you've got to be quite stiff on the bottom. Once again, passing really well. Richard Fernando trying to get a grip on the head.
And I believe that cooking concept was a Gracie technique, right?
Yeah, Mauricio Gomez, sort of Roger Gracie's dad, quite popularised for that one. He was Mr. Neon Belly. I've experienced that Neon Belly from him. He was teaching a seminar and demonstrating on me, and I passed out, so it's not my favourite move.
And it's very much kind of a breaking of the spirit, isn't it? It's as much of a psychological game as it is anything else, right?
It is, but then also you've got to play to the rules of the sport you're doing. These are 8-minute matches, and we're running out of time. We've got 2 minutes 20 left, and Richard Fernando, if this was a points match, he'd be quite a long way up, but it's not. So if he gets to the end, despite all the positions and all the cooking and all the pressure, it's still going to be
and then,
anyone's game.
And then you go to EBI, and even having the starting the exchange with your choice is a slighted advantage, but it's not a game changer by any sense.
No, definitely not. And then
it very much becomes anybody's game when you get into the overtime, particularly if one of the competitors is better versed in the EBI rounds than the other. It becomes a very different thing.
And some gyms will train that, won't they? They will make them do from the back a lot, so they sort of gamify it that they are better at that position.
Absolutely, we do at the gym here. We do a EBI round basically with every round that we do. But it's a big part of our warm-up system. It's a skill in itself, and you know, obviously you are training for the rule set, but then it also gives you fantastic fundamentals on the back and from spiderweb. It tightens everything up, so it's a good practice in my opinion.
I think it's a great thing, especially from the back. It was one of those things that the EBI rules really fixed about jiu-jitsu was the kind of points environment. If you got to the back, you were so far up on points, there was no pressure to finish. Whereas jiu-jitsu should be all about finishing. And then you add the EBI rules where all of a sudden you're on the back, you've got to finish and quickly. What a fantastic goal to have in jiu-jitsu. And that's where all the straitjacket system, all these systems came from, that small change of rule set. Forces him over. Richard Fernando looking for a Darce choke, trying to sneak his right arm through.
Are you seeing a renaissance of the turtle in your gym in the same way that we are in ours?
To some degree. In what sense?
We're seeing a lot of guys.
Everyone just plays turtle.
I think it's been. I think it's had a bit of a renaissance as a defensive position, and you know, when you are under a high amount of pressure, or you know, when you're struggling in the round, going into that turtle position, and it's very, very difficult to attack from. Almost like a safety position, and it's if you get a good kind of sequence and a level of attacks from there, it's just become incredibly popular. It's very difficult to submit people when they're in the turtle.
Easier in this position though. Look, on the back, body triangle, locked in, fighting the hands. The problem is it's a little too late, with only 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, that body triangle looking really tight there, and he's come back into the mat. And like you say, on points, he's way ahead, right?
Yeah, but it's now irrelevant. It's all about who can finish faster from the back. And Max, you know, he's a big, strong guy. It might be that he's going to start on the back and be able to just force across the face, or just be able to hold it in there longer.
Yeah,
becomes a very different game.
And it's an interesting decision. I mean, whether you go for the back or whether you go for the spider web. Personally, if I'm going first, I'll often go for the spider web because I feel like it's a slightly better position to attack from. You've got a little bit more kind of immediacy in front of you in terms of things to attack. But the back, if you're struggling for time or you need to kind of get some ride time, as we would like to call it, the back is a much better option.
Yeah, I'm almost surprised that Richard Fernando went for this spiderweb position, but he's got a good grip on the arm. It's clearly a position he likes. He's doing a great job of separating their hands. He's fighting the grips, but he just lost it. The elbow's out. And that's the thing, it's the time thing. I feel like my preference would be the back.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can attack slowly.
Yeah, and you develop some ride time. I think one of the things that we coach in the gym, I say we very generously, I'm not coaching anybody, but one of the things that we talk about a lot is establishing ride time in these rounds. It does give you an advantage if you're able to sit in these. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he's doing a good job trying to break the grips, but he's not out. He's very nearly out. Oh, it's looking tight. And that's this rule set. Richard Fernando, he did better in the round. He got the back at the end of the regulation time period. He did, you know,
your winner by quickest escape time, Max Callanan!
But Max was just able to escape faster from the armbar position. I'm surprised that Richard Fernando didn't opt for the back. Yeah, and especially the end of the 8 minutes regulation time, he had a body triangle locked in. It looked like Max was struggling to escape it. It sort of had a proof of concept that it was a good position against this particular opponent, but still elected to go spiderweb. But maybe it's something he drills in the gym. He feels very confident there.
And I've made the same decision in my case. It was a mistake, not asserting that it was a mistake out there. But I've made that decision in the heat of a moment. You drill the arm,
guys, this is the last match of the prelims.
And you immediately then, when you're under pressure and you're perhaps, slightly clouded mind, go straight back to what you know. You drop back to the lowest level of your training. And like you say, sometimes going for the back is a slightly better option.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I sometimes think maybe a tweak to the rule is that you have to start on the back. Like the whole, the sort of choosing one or the other. My personal, maybe it's my own bias. My own cognitive bias is coming through that I would probably always start on the back. So I wonder if they could tweak the rules and just everyone has to start on the back.
You could do. I think there's such a strong system there from the spiderweb, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think it's very reflective of the kind of character and personality of the grappler, and that you're right. You're absolutely right in that you can secure your ride time a little bit more on the back. But there is, for a lot of players who like to go for the arm there and have a really good armbar system, it does give them a fantastic opportunity to get quick submissions.
Here we go. We've got our next matchup. We've got Mikey Pollett taking on Adrian Au. Let's talk about Mikey. Just came out in this beautiful orange-black rash guard. He's fought on Grappling Industries Vienna. He got gold with all his matches he won by submission.
Wow.
I watched a couple of them. It's a killer guillotine game, so I reckon he's going to jump and dangle on the neck.
We can expect to see that.
Adrian Au, UK Grappling Industries gold medalist as well, so both coming off big competition wins. That's a good way to avoid the guillotine.
Yeah, exactly. So this is our last match of the prelims, and then we're going to have a short break before we go in, but I feel like we're in for a treat just before we go out to break.
Yeah, this could be a good one. And everyone watching this live, make sure you give @Zion a follow and at 10th Planet Banbury, where we are hosting this, a follow. And you can follow myself at Chris Fensom, FENSOMBJJ on Instagram. And you can follow Patrick at...
it's not a particularly interesting follow.
No.
Patrick Thick on Instagram.
All the thickest content. Here we go, Mikey.
Jumping on that guillotine like you predicted.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get his hands together. For people watching this at home that train, especially train with these fighters, you need to be broad in your jiu-jitsu skills defensively. You don't need to be broad offensively. You can have your move or your couple of moves. And clearly, for Mikey, it's a guillotine. If he just wants to bite your neck.
Yeah, and sometimes people talk about it in terms of the building of a house, don't they? And you need to get your foundations in, and you need to have a really, really good understanding of the fundamentals. And a lot of that is defensively, right? If you've got some fantastic attacks, but you've got nothing to combat your opponent with, then a lot of those matches don't last very long.
Remember, Zion is brought to you by Zebramats UK. We now have an official UK distributor, so you can, if you're looking at this beautiful 10th Planet gym going, I'd like a gym like that. I would love a gym like this.
They are fantastic mats.
Yeah, they're good. You don't get the mat burn from these. And when you get like old school judo mats, you just get rashed up everywhere.
And you don't get dirty feet either.
No?
You don't get the kind of rubber markings on the bottom of your feet, which is really nice.
Very good. Also grappler soap to go with the non-dirty feet.
I'm a big proponent of grappler soap. It's A, smells fantastic, but it does do an unbelievable job. And I've witnessed this firsthand with kind of, you know, when you're grappling, you kind of, all of the cuts and little niggles that you get just seem to go red for ages, for much longer than you would in normal life. And grappler soap really does clear it up. And Dan Bassett, he's been up here a couple of times, visited the gym, fantastic guy. Can't recommend the products enough. Anyway, jiu-jitsu.
I know, we're just, I'm sort of mesmerized by the guillotine attempts of Mikey Pollett. It's just his move, isn't it? And he's looking for it from every possible position. He's looking for an arming guillotine. And he's got a good squeeze on it. It's all of it with guillotines. You can finish them one-handed, but they're super rare. It's all about the second hand. You get the first round around the neck, and then where's the second hand? Is it in front of their arm, behind their arm? And then can you get an angle? And then once you got that hand sorted, where are your legs? You know, ideally you want like a guard or a mount. You can use the power of your legs to finish the guillotine.
And so much of it is the head control with your lat, isn't it, on the arm that's wrapped around. And I think a lot of people overlook that sometimes for a powerful squeeze. But how much of that is really bringing the head onto the arm to finish the choke?
Yeah, it's all mechanics. If you just lean straight back, you're just going to sort of annoy them and give them a bad neck. It's all about that squeeze to the side where you're cutting off the carotid arteries. Good. They are on the lap of that man. They'll be reset in the same position in the middle. We've got getting near halfway of this match. Yeah, he's once again trying to get a bite on the neck. He is digging that left arm through. And it's an arm and guillotine. So with arm and guillotine, you don't want your closed guard around them. You want usually one chin across the body because you just need more angle. It's all about really angling off towards the side of the arm that is around the neck. Stepping over to mount as well. He said that when we weren't talking. This is a real chess match, isn't it? It's all about the head position, the arm position. Clearly, Mikey Pollitt is a bit of a guillotine wizard. He's got Jay Butler in his corner as well. He's going to be talking to him, coaching him through all these various transitions. Oh no, sorry, Adrian Al's and Jay Butler's in Adrian Al's corner. He's talking through how to not get choked. Oh no, this is a nightmare here. Look,
this looks very tight.
He's got the mount, he's got the chin under the neck, but it's the second hand. It's all about his right arm now.
He's grip fighting there. He needs to try and get that together.
Yeah, he gets his hands together with the legs locked.
That looks
could be
pretty
super tight. He's thinking about tapping. It's all over.
Nice.
Guillotine with 2 minutes 44 left.
There we go. You called it just before the match. Guillotine City.
Research pays off.
And your winner,
I'm glad one of us did.
Guillotine, Mikey.
You got the inside knowledge. You're training all these dudes.
There we go. So that's the final match of our prelims. What an unbelievable series of matches.
Incredible. We've seen a variety of submissions. It's a little bit the EBI overtime rules and sort of discussed that, and very nuanced how that is. The real thing for me is just how incredible it has been with the transitions between the leg locks.
Yeah.
And like those first few matches, I felt like I was watching ADCC trials or like the main comp. It was just slide in between all these different things. Absolutely insane. And I can't believe the level of these fighters.
Yeah,
and it's so different. When I was coming up and I was a white belt and a blue belt, you'd be like, I know a triangle, and everyone would be like, whoa, this guy knows a triangle. And now
you've got inverted leg locks, you've got outside Ashi, inside Ashi, DOA, all that kind of stuff.
17 different positions and inverting upside down entries to them. It's just absolutely phenomenal.
Exactly. No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and the pace of the matches is what's really stood out to me. All of these guys have come out with an electric start and going through loads and loads and loads of different transitions, like you were just saying, going into leg locks. Do you remember that flying guillotine attempt we had very early on, with a back take turned into a triangle? Just some unbelievable level of jiu-jitsu. It's been fantastic. This is only the prelims.
It's only the prelims. Remember, Zion, if you're watching live, please follow us on all social media platforms. And to put on a huge event like this, it not only takes a huge crowd, but it takes sponsors as well. So we're going to give them a shout out just now.
got out the gym with the best match you've ever seen.
Completely upgraded the mat space by about 20 times. Absolutely outdone themselves with everything that they've done. A sprung floor with like best match you can get, Zebra. It's unbelievable what they've done. Honestly, like I've never walked on a mat that's like this before. I cannot wait to watch the reactions of all the fight team as they come in and see it for the first time.
Glad this is it.
It's really special, isn't it?
Sound, isn't it?
The biggest moment of our whole gym's life was that night for us all.
I can't wait to train on them now.
And we are back here live at the Zion Invitational number 4. We got our main card now. This is pretty exciting. We've got, first up, Michael Budd taking on Tom Hines, the 10th Planet faithful.
Absolutely.
Is it one of your training partners?
He certainly is. He's our fundamentals coach, so we're very excited to see him on. It's a purple belt match at 73 kilos. He struggled to find a opponent, Mikey, but I'm really, really excited to see him on the mats. I think he's going to put a 10th Planet clinic on. Yeah, and he's actually got a quite experienced opponent in Tom Hines. He's an amateur MMA fighter with a record of 1-1, so quite experienced. He also took silver medal at the English Open, and he's representing the Institute of Grappling, which just sounds cool. Absolutely, absolutely right. With no further ado, I think we're going to get straight kicked off with Gav, right? We're going to be moving on with the next contest of the evening.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Now time for our main card. Introducing first, the Heartbreak Kid, Michael Budd!
Now, does he teach fundamentals because he has good fundamentals or because he's mental?
He teaches the fundamentals class. He does an exceptional job of it. Every now and then we have to remind him that it is the fundamentals class. I say we, not me. Gav has to remind him that it is the fundamentals class and not the advanced class.
Well, that's the problem is the advanced stuff is quite often more exciting to teach. Oh, he's very fired up. I like a neck tattoo as well. Something quite cool about it. Absolutely. He's one of the most flexible guys I've ever met as well. So he's absolutely perfect for the 10th Planet system.
And his opponent, fighting out of the Institute of Grappling, Tom Hines!
Yeah, Tom Hines probably not going to get a matter of reception here in Banbury. He's coming into enemy territory, but Jiu-Jitsu is interesting. You were talking about flexibility. We all have these assets, right? We all have these skills. We have our technical abilities, but we also have our power, our endurance, everything else. So you look at these two athletes, and you look at Tom Hines, you'd be like, it's probably a little bit more muscle of the two. He's got some big old arms on him. Yeah, absolutely. And you can't see the flexibility of Michael Budd. We might get to see it in just a minute. Yeah, so, just some of that 10th Planet, some of those fundamentals. Yeah, Mikey choosing to sit guard early doors. Is rubber guard class as a fundamental in your school? I'd say yes. Certainly the early steps. There was nothing fundamental about that leg entry. That was very smooth. Beautiful leg entry. He's got to that 50-50 position, and we've seen a lot today. He's going to be trying to get to his side, separate the feet, and dig for a heel hook. One thing that is or a straight foot lock. That looks pretty tight. Tap done. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. So quick by Michael Budd. 36 seconds to get the submission. Phenomenal performance. Wow, what a way to kick off our main card. Absolutely, absolutely. And we're really seeing the rise of the straight footlock, right? That's something that has really come back into prominence. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, but I believe it's Mateusz Klinski. He's introduced that socklock system, and it's just been incredibly effective. And you're starting to see people moving to that footlock, maybe even over the heel hook. Yeah, even the Aoki lock as well. You got it there. You can transition from the straight footlet to the Aoki lock just by letting the heel slip a little bit. And it's sort of that borderline between, is it a straight foot lock, is it a heel hook? Yeah. It's definitely one of them. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I'm absolutely made up for Mikey. He's, I think there's been a little bit of ambiguity over whether he's going to be able to get a match. So to be able to come out and win in that kind of fashion is absolutely brilliant for him. And the sequence as well. He knew what he wanted. Pull guard, got to the bottom, got the bite on the leg, inverted, spun through to 50-50. And then got the separation, dug for the heel. Couldn't quite get the heel. And then I think everyone's so worried about that heel hook. They get the straight foot lock. Like you say, if you're good at it, That's a killer move.
It really is. And now Laura Karen on the card.
In the 63 kilo
really
belt bracket,
long-standing training partner of mine.
Jiu-Jitsu, Kaz Ovenden!
Kaz Ovenden representing for submission BJJ. I was did a little research on all the fighters before the show. I thought out anything about Kaz, to be honest. That could be a good thing. She's like the secret phenom, right? Coming in here, she definitely looks the part.
Absolutely, that rash guard is brilliant. Freshly baked.
Freshly baked. You'd look good with purple hair, Patrick. I think it'll suit you.
Really?
Yeah.
Should we try out? Maybe for the next Zion.
And her opponent, fighting out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Banbury, Laura Karen!
So, Laura Karen very much getting the home crowd. Her and Mikey B are very, very good friends and big training partners. You can expect to see a very well versed leg lock game with Laura. She's absolutely fantastic and unbelievably tough. Comes from a boxing background, has an outstanding boxing pedigree. I think has won a couple of really good titles and has now transitioned over to jiu-jitsu and is just so tough.
No punches in this game, luckily.
We'll see.
Wow. I know that Laura Karen struggled a little bit at a recent competition with the kind of traditional jiu-jitsu rule set where you couldn't reap the leg and there's a limitation on what you can do. She will not have that problem here at Zion.
Absolutely not. All subs legal.
Yeah. Should be able to start diving on some footlocks. She's got that butterfly position.
Yeah, she's pulled that her left side overhook, making me think that she might be wanting to go into a rubber guard play. See how this plays out.
This is good by Kaz as well. She's keeping her head below hers, stops any elevation. And fighting the head position is Laura. She's got a nice overwrap on the arm already. She might be use that for rubber guard or a sweep. Yeah, she really needs to be concerned about her right arm.
Yeah, transitioning into full guard, making me think she's gonna. There we go. So she's got her opponent's left arm on the inside there, which is really, really good. So she's got options for either triangles or arm bars here. There's a crock here that she's grabbing onto with the left hand. So she's got the option. Here we go. We're going to see this crock arm bar. Yeah, lovely. That is perfect. That is perfect. Sorry, I think I was calling that the croc armbar. That's a classic Dead Orchard. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was the Nathan Orchard one. We were looking at the back of them, I'm not sure.
And your winner by Dead Orchard, Laura Karen!
Yeah, Nathan Orchard popularised with that. It's a triangle with both arms in, essentially. And called exactly that. Dead Orchard. And that's one of the key parts of the rubber guard is whether or not you've got your opponent's left arm in that space. Yeah, she's executed that absolutely perfectly and a fantastic showing for both Michael and Laura there. I think they're going to be absolutely made up. Very, very happy for them. So now we've got some more 10th Planet players on the card. We've got Ben Smith, who I believe is coming out of 10th Planet Redditch. I've seen Ben Smith in action on these mats a few times. He's a very, very, very scary opponent. Oh, he's got his hands full today, though. He's got Eric Smith, Battle of the Smiths. They might be related, probably not. Agent Smith. Agent Smith. Eric Smith's got he got gold at the Dorset Open, gold at the Brighton Open, gold on Grapplers Challenge, and then the silver at Matmania and the Neon Open. So very competitive. Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a very exciting match. A very, very physical match.
Eric Smith!
Eric Smith coming out. How tall is Eric?
And we've seen Eric on Zion before. I think he was on Zion too. We commentated on his match. He had a match against Fraser, another 10th Planet teammate of mine. So yeah, looking to avenge that loss, I think, for Zion 3. Yeah, and it makes such a difference having that experience that you've done this before. You've been to the place before. You've had the rules meeting before. You just so much
and his
calmer.
opponent, fighting out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Redditch, Ben Smith!
I can't believe we haven't talked about Gav's jacket yet. How have we missed that on the main card? It looks unbelievable.
He's the Hugh Hefner of Banbury, isn't he?
He's pretending he can't hear us, but I'm sure he can.
Ben Smith coming out. And you've got to train with Ben a few times, have you? Yeah, absolutely. I've had a couple of training sessions with Ben. Sorry, he's a very, very physical grappler. Technically very, very sound, and just a really, really intimidating opponent. I absolutely guarantee this will be
be an exciting match.
It's also these purple belts. They've got so much to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that transition between... I always feel like brown and black is sort of advanced, and white and blue maybe beginner, and the purple is the awkward in-between stage where you're like, I want to be up there. I want to prove I am as good as all those guys. And they're both going to be trying to do that. Yeah. Ben looking
at him. Physical specimen.
Yeah, a little shorter, maybe a little bulkier.
With James Whiston in his corner of 10th Planet Redditch.
Why is Ben Smith's arm so big and his calf so small? That's weird. Love you, Ben. I'm only joking. Oh, trying to get a bite on the legs early. It's interesting that the Jay Butler BJJ fighter is the one immediately looking for the legs. Nice, Jay Butler calling all these transitions. Fantastic having such an experienced coach.
Sorry, Chris, to talk over you there. He looks like he's got a pretty good grip on that leg. Oh no, he's...
Oh, it's... Yeah. His coach called it. He said, you're in a bad spot, forget that and get out. It was good advice. Right? I thought just that. He'd done beautiful work with the leg transitions and ended up in the worst spot though. Now he's trying to kick his leg free and free that knee line.
Yeah, Ben's fighting for the knee line there, isn't he? I can't see on the other side. Has he got a good... It looks like he's got a little bit of heel exposure there.
Yeah, he's trying to get a bite on the heels in a good leg position for it, but he's a little low down the leg. Doesn't quite have a perfect bite on the knee line, which allows Eric Smith to roll out of it.
Yeah, and this is where Ben is really, really strong. He's great in these positions.
Good, pummeling his leg through.
Nice bit of retention there from Eric, but Ben's got that overhead wrap, which makes life really, really difficult from here, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you want to stretch away, especially when you're as tall as Eric Smith. You want to stretch away, you want space. Oh, it's tight.
Oh, guillotine looks pretty good. Yeah, nice hand fighting there from Eric.
I think he's going to sit back for the leg. Ben recognised it, got that closed guard. Interesting reset there. He was setting up a triangle.
Yeah, Ben looked like he was getting somewhere with that triangle, didn't he? He had Eric's right arm controlled.
Yep. That's going to be slightly frustrating for him. Was working on stuff. Go straight back to it though.
Straight back into it.
He's stuck with the plan. Yeah, it's a triangle, but he does have his hand just inside with the other arm, but you can definitely still finish it from there. Because Ben Smith, especially if he gets an angle. This is going to be a little bit awkward when your opponent falls over. Yeah, you want to come back up,
nice.
Angle off, attack the free arm. And people, you get a triangle, a lot of people think, oh, I got to finish this choke, finish this choke. Now you've got this arm sat there waiting for you to attack with wrist locks.
Yeah, and a key thing for Eric here is keeping those hands together, isn't it? I think that's what's stopping some of the pressure of the triangle, but it still looks very uncomfortable for him.
Yeah, it looks super tight. Eric bridging, trying to make some space, but Ben is so high up.
Utilising the punch choke there.
Well, it's a contact sport. Yeah, the punch choke, you literally make space, you make a fist, jam it in their carotid artery, or falls off for the finish. Oh, but his feet become undone. Excellent work, and now he's going to get a bite on the leg.
Eric gets...
Jay Butler calling for a heavy reap. He wants Eric Smith to bring the left leg over, but he's lost it now. He's going to swing back on. Good work getting back to butterfly. Jay Butler calling for a sweep, but he's just out of position. Yeah, you were talking about that pressure of Ben Smith. We can see it right here. He's so heavy. He's that wet blanket, isn't he?
Yeah, just unrelenting force, and he's caught me out with a couple of really strong front headlock positions a couple of times, and it's not a nice place to be at all. Sympathise with Eric here. Eric's got some good, showing some really good guard retention there. That passing is pretty quick and pretty heavy, and he's doing a good job of getting that top leg back in.
Spinning to the back, trying to get the hooks in.
They might start thinking about some truck plays here, maybe a twister.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's looking for. It'd be nice to see a twister. Eric doing a good job of defending it, trying to turn in.
Yeah, and looks like he might be able to get that far side hook in.
Already halfway through this match, he's got 4 minutes.
Yeah, nice. That's really good from Ben, establishing both of the hooks.
We had the 10th Planet Redditch corner calling for Ben to flatten him out. So if you're on someone's back and they're belly down on the mat, it's pretty much the most dominant position you can be in. Look for a body triangle. Eric slipped out just before he got locked up, and now he's back on it.
He's in there. Yeah, he's got that body triangle in.
It's so beneficial having this body triangle. It just allows you to now use both arms to start cranking the face.
And that is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. If you're, you know, he's very technical, clearly, everything we've seen, but he's also strong as how is Ben Smith. So use those big old arms, get your forearm across the face and start pulling. Eric needs to get out of this body triangle. It's so hard to do. He's trying to slip out. I quite like to go to the other side if I'm in the body triangle, so the cross for the feet is not on the mat. I know there's a few weird foot locks and stuff, but generally I want it in the air, so at least I got the option that it might slip off.
Yeah, Ben's got to be careful of that cat-tail leg, but no, he's done a good job of protecting it.
Yeah, good escape from the body triangle.
Yeah, nice knee cut there from Ben.
Yeah, Eric's starting to look a little fatigued as well. Just keeps escaping, keeps escaping. It's the pressure. So it reminds me like Khabib in the UFC, just relentless pressure.
Yeah, going back to that concept of cooking your opponent, just pressure, pressure, pressure.
Oh, sit back for a leg now. That'll surprise him. It's all about leg pummeling in this position. Who can get to a superior leg position? Oh, we've got 50-50 again. Isn't so much 50-50 today? That's it. Calling for the feet cross. And the reason you can hear the coach, Eric Smith's coach, shouting for him to cross his feet is that keeps your own heel safe. If you pass it to the outside like he's just done, now your foot is sort of there on its own, gets lonely. So shouting for him to cross his feet. So you can still bridge into it. He can still crank this foot lock if he wants, but keeping his foot crossed. And we start playing leg lock top trumps and it's a straight foot lock versus a heel hook. Generally, the heel hook's going to win.
Absolutely.
Fairly good advice from Jay Butler. It's good having an expert in your corner.
I don't know whether anybody else heard that at home, but that was a comment on the heel hook versus straight ankle, taking a nice for a gunfight.
Yeah. Good. This is more what he wants. Now we see Eric pummeling. He's listening to his coach. He's pummeling in. He's got a better position here. Put the foot over. We saw this earlier. When you can go belly down, it means that your opponent can't use the other foot to try and kick your arms off and save their foot. So you see a lot of heel hooks and a lot of foot locks finish belly down.
That heel looks super tight. And he's got a good knee line as well.
Yeah, Ben Smith having none of it though. Didn't even react. Didn't even.
That makes me nervous.
I tap so fast to heel hooks. Like, if you grab my heel like that with your hand and start cranking it, I'm already tapped. I'm already downstairs with a cup of tea and a biscuit.
Thinking about the drive home.
Yeah. Able to drive home, that's the main thing. There's the toe hold option, called by his coach.
Yeah, he's lacing up that grip. That looks pretty good.
It doesn't have the greatest grip for toe. He wants to be right on the toes. He wants to get his grip just a little bit lower. Out of time.
Wow. That was a hell of a shootout. Woo! Hell of a shootout. Now we're going to go to the EBI rules, and the ref's got a difficult job. I think because of the top game dominance earlier on in the round, I think Ben will probably get the choice going for the back.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, certainly if there was any kind of points in this competition, Ben would be up. I'm surprised Ben sat back for the leg lock. He's having really good success pressure passing and being on top. Oh, Eric did a good job of sliding out and getting an angle straight away. That's a fast escape. That's very fast.
So now, exactly like you say, you've got to think that Eric's going to go for the back as well and try and ride him out.
He's going to... If I was in Eric's position, I'd be squeezing as tight as I can and then look for a body triangle on one side or the other, because it'll take that much longer to escape. Give you the win.
Now you've got to think Ben Smith is going to try and explode out of this.
Oh, I lost the hook in the first second.
I think he's out.
Oh. Oh, we go to our timekeeper. Eric wins. I felt like it was about a second longer for Eric.
Yeah, it did seem like...
but it's one of those, that's quite subjective, as when does the referee stop it as well? Like, what is out? If you're sort of halfway out, you're no longer at the back, but you're not on mount, you're not in a different position.
Yeah, and I think the way I understand it is... Gav just making the decision there. The way I understand it is when your opponent's back's on the mat, then you're out. And unless the exception to that is if you've got an active submission that you're going to. So say, for example, you've got your back to the mat, but you've got an arm up, and your opponent is kind of pulling you into a head and arm situation. That keeps it live, and then you could continue into the, continue that position to go for the submission. But if the opponent gets back to the mat and they're kind of safe, there aren't any active submissions on, then that would be what would considered as an escape. But you're absolutely right; it can get pretty subjective, right?
There's a lot of pressure on our timekeeper right there.
Doing a good job.
He's got to press the button at the right time, make sure it's fair. Now, coming up next, we've got Emmy Grimmett from Nexus, who are on our quintet team later, taking on Zoe Lundy from VT or UT Jiu-Jitsu. Now, Zoe, very interesting. Judo brown belt, 32 wins on smooth comp.
Okay, guys.
English Open gold, English Open absolute gold, Naga gold, British Nogi gold, Grappling Industries gold.
That's a hell of a resume.
That's a hell of a resume. Emmy Grimmett!
But Emmy Grimmett, we know that she trains with that team, that Nexus team.
Yeah.
Some of the best grapplers on the planet right there have been training Emmy Grimmett.
Absolutely, and I did a little bit of training up at Nexus a few months ago, and the level in there is just unbelievable.
And after the last quintet, I was like, I'm going to go train there. I want to go train with Brad, see how I do. I just want to smash me, but I was like, I want to have a go. And then
I made sure I went on a day where Brad wasn't there.
my little ego was like, oh, you're just going to get annihilated. Don't go, don't go. But yeah, Nexus, when you're rewatching this, give me an invite. I'll come and train. We've got to make a rule. We can only use one arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of VT Jiu-Jitsu, Zoe Lundy!
Zoe Lundy, and that's Lee Remedios in her corner. He's one of the first ever British UFC fighters. He was on Brawl at the Royal Albert Hall, and he's been coaching Zoe Lundy and singing her praises. He's telling me how she walks around with the most aggressive stance he's ever seen in his life. She just struts. Immediately playing guard is Zoe Lundy. Look at that De La Riva hook. You might see her put the right hand to the ankle.
Unbelievably composed from both.
Yeah, the focus. Oh, looking again. Looking for a Berimbolo, I think, or to spin to the back. Yep, actual Berimbolo, very slick. I mean, how high level is a no-gi Berimbolo? That's pretty cool.
Good scrambles and wrestling up there. Ref bringing them back into the middle.
Beautiful guard work from Zoe Lundy. Very composed. You see, it's all these tiny battles going. She wants that 2-on-1 on the wrist. It's another thing popularized by Gordon Ryan, John Danaher. Get really good control of one arm. Oh, in on the neck. I think the stop was before the pass. Should start in an open guard, I think. That's a questionable reset. I can't believe Stevie Wonder took up reffing. Immediately on top is Zoe Lundy, putting the pressure down, cooking once again. And that's it. When you're here, you've got 6.5 minutes to work. She's in no rush. She's in a dominant position.
Yeah.
They're slowly trying to work one of the limbs away from the body.
Yeah, and Emmy's staying disciplined with her frames there.
See, coach. It's a very classic thing. The Lee Remedios saying, weight off your knees. He wants her to put all the weight on her opponent. He wants her to do that cooking we were talking about earlier, putting pressure, trying to force her into making a mistake. Spinning around. Into the turtle position is Emmy Grimmett, but it gives Zoe Lundy options. Zoe sliding the knee over.
It's good controlling work from Zoe, isn't it?
Really good.
Not rushing anything, taking her time, really composed tempo.
On the arm. Set it up with a knee on belly, sat back. Now she's got to deal with this grip.
That leg position looks really tight.
Grip straight away. Oh, a good hitchhiker escaping from Emmy Grimmett immediately on her bike. Gets to her knees. We're going to see Zoe spin underneath and try and finish it. Emmy ends up on top.
Beautiful escape.
What a battle. What an absolute battle. That was millimeters away from submission.
Straight back into pressure. Brilliant.
Yeah. The Nexus BJJ crew. The whole quintet crew is over there, actually. Coaching Emmy. Trying to use that pressure, that shoulder crunch position. Emmy pushing the face. She's trying to just get around those legs. And it's so hard to do. She's sitting back for a leg entry. Back step honey hole entry. Just wasn't deep enough.
Yeah, I didn't feel like she had the knee line on this step there, but...
Yeah. But you often see people step back, almost fake that, to then come back with an underhook and get the pass.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't take my eyes off this. This is brilliant. It's so tense.
We've got 4 minutes to go. So high level. It's also like you got 2 fighters from 2 fantastic teams. It makes such a difference. It's so well prepared.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's trying to
bite on the ankle there.
Well, it's just too shallow, I think.
Yeah, working for the knee line a bit.
Emmy trying to spin through.
Kevin calling for Emmy to come up on top.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Zoe hasn't used any of these opportunities to wrestle up, maybe try and get to a top position. Clearly she's got a phenomenal guard.
Yeah, the retention skills are unbelievable, aren't they?
Inverting again. Got a nice little bite on the leg.
Yeah, much better bite on the leg there, but still struggling with the knee line.
We've got a 50-50 position. She's digging for the heels. See, Emmy doesn't accept the 50-50. She's got her own foot in, making the space. Trying to get a bite on the foot by herself. Now, as you're watching this, you'll see the little Z on the mat. That is the Zebra Mats logo. This whole show is brought to you by Zebra Mats and Zebra Mats UK. We now have a UK distributor. The best mats you will ever train on. Oh, diving on a toe hold. Gets a good grip. Oh, but gives up her back doing it. This is one of the dangers of that position. Both hands are committed to the foot. You can't block the person coming up.
Yeah, Zoe trying to get that far side hook in, climbing over.
Yeah, Zoe's cornering for her to pass, trying to step over that leg. Oh,
nice.
Zoe Lundy does a fantastic job of getting to the back. She's got 2 minutes to work.
Yeah, and you can feel that Zoe's not going to rush this. She's going to try and take her time.
Yeah, look at that guard work. She's got the feet crossed. She's keeping pressure. She's cranking the face. She's trying to get an opportunity, but excellent work by Emmy Grimmett. Yeah. Ends up in the bottom of the mount, but saves her from being choked.
Yeah, you've got to think that even though you've given up or ended up in the mount there, you're in a better position than you were in.
Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic work. Also very coachable. I can, you know, everything the Nexus BJJ crew are coaching her through, she is doing. It's like they got a PlayStation controller. XYZ, R3. Look at that, trying to kip out, make the space.
Zoe staying very strong on the top, controlling the shoulder line and the head. Moving up into a higher mount.
Yeah, sliding her knees up. Digging for the underhooks, controlling the position really well with Zoe Lundy.
So we've got a minute left here for Zoe to really make the most of this position.
We've seen a few submission attempts, but we haven't seen anything that's particularly close. She's trying to set up an arm triangle.
Yeah, working for that head and arm triangle. She's got good shoulder position on the elbow.
Yeah, she's doing really good. She's going to, at some point, she's going to lock up her arms, then she needs to step her right leg out and over and end up in side control. You need that position to be able to finish the choke. Oh, a tap from the mount, maybe you don't. Just squeeze from the mount.
There was a lot of pressure in there, wasn't there?
Oh.
Beautiful high mount. Very, very patient with getting that under jack to get the arm above the head.
It's very hard to finish that arm triangle from the mounted position. You normally see people step off, look for an angle, try and change the angle of the neck, but she's so strong.
And your winner via head and arm triangle, Zoe Landry!
Very composed, wasn't it? It was very composed from both competitors there. There wasn't an element of rushing. Neither of them looked flustered. But I think Zoe just imposed a really, really strong and tight game there.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I mean, she started off so strong as well. Those inversions, the little berimbola. You could see her guard is absolutely sick.
Yeah, like, yeah. Phenomenal retention.
Yeah. And it was, I was kept getting distracted by Team Nexus in the background. Just staring over. They were opposite side of our commentary table here, and they were just sort of staring over and just felt afraid.
Just felt like saying sorry.
I just felt like saying, oh yeah, it was a guilty feeling. I can't believe this quintet is coming up later. We've got the best job in the world.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
we
we get the best seats in the house as well, which is, no, we're very lucky. And that head and arm looked extremely tight.
Now remember, this show is brought to you by Zebra Mats, Taped Fingers, and Battle Soap.
And your next match in the 85 kilo purple belt division, fighting out of Impact MMA, Jimmy Wheeler!
So Jimmy Wheeler is a Zion vet as well. You remember him from Zion too? I believe he had Matt Corsack in his last match here. Very, very tight match. Lots of fantastic leg exchanges. So we're expecting a very good match here.
Yeah, and he's got recent history of his competition. He's done really well. Nargo took silver. The Wiltshire Open he took silver, and the Cardiff Open he took gold too. Been very active on the competition scene. And looks in great shape, ready for this fight. Now let's talk about Grapple Wrap. I've been really enjoying the Grapple Wrap products, rash guard, shorts, everything.
I haven't seen them yet.
Oh, have a look. There's some downstairs. Absolutely incredible.
Sam Morgan!
And they're so well made, and it's so important for doing this sport. You can't just wear shorts and t-shirt that you buy at Asda, right?
Yeah, exactly.
People grab it, it gets worn, and you need to wash it like every day. Right? So you need really high-wearing stuff, and that's what Grapple Wrap make. And who doesn't like a wrap?
Yeah. I need to introduce myself to them, and just like you were saying, the materials that you need to use, particularly for Nogi Jiu-Jitsu, have to be so good.
Yep.
Because there's so much pressure going on them.
Right, here we go, Jimmy Wheeler in the purple versus Sam Morgan, who goes for a flying triangle in the first few seconds. Doesn't get it.
Nicely recovered there by Jimmy.
Wow, what a start by Sam Morgan.
And Jimmy just looks unfazed.
Sam,
nice grab on the leg there.
Yeah. Sam just digging in for the leg. He's on the heel pretty deep, but I think he's just lost the knee line.
Yeah, Jimmy's getting that knee line back. Crowd doing a good job of supporting.
Get wrist locked by your mate.
That guy in the brown t-shirt there, Charles, he's last year's referee, so I'm sure he's enjoying a slightly more relaxed time today. I think he was the referee for the quintet, and I think he's not sure he's quite recovered from trying to keep control of Brad Boyden.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being a ref, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, it's a thankless task, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, beautiful pass. Put the shin in the middle, slid through, had the underhook to stop the recovery. Excellent pressure by Sam Morgan. Now he's trying. He wants to control him, wants to keep him flat. I think he's trying to work his leg over to get to a mount. Loses it. Jimmy Wheeler does a good job of turning, getting back to turtle. Trying to pull him back, drop both hooks in, just beautiful. Does it.
That was such a dominant way to take the back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Overpowering him, bringing him back. Now Jimmy's hand fighting. He's doing a good job of getting his back to the mat.
He might switch to an arm triangle. Oh no, he's back on the back. He's only got one hook. My preference is to fight for the hooks before I worry about attacking the neck. But if you attack the neck now, it sort of distracts them, and then you can get the hook in.
Can make the hooks getting the hooks in a little bit easier. He's doing such a good job of controlling there because Jimmy's doing all the right things, trying to get his back to the mat.
And slips out, ends up with a full guard. Now, Patrick, if you're in Jimmy Wheeler's position here, what are you looking for?
I'm trying to keep my elbows tight. I'm trying to assess whether there's any movement in the legs, if I can feel like I can get that guard open. It's such a difficult position to be in now because he's had 3 or 4 really tight attacks coming at him, and I think he's just trying to get a bit of composure, but he's doing a good job. He's framing off, trying to manage the distance, but he needs to try and create some space, maybe get some bicep controls, bring it back onto the ribs, try and pry those legs open if he can. Reaches back to try and do that.
And it's crazy how the sport, it's evolved so much. We now have, the original Gracie syllabus was 50 moves, and now it's infinite, literally infinite.
Yeah.
But still, closed guard is such a huge part of the game, and it's so difficult to deal with. Always in on the legs. Sam Morgan gets a nice little bite. Oh, Jimmy Wheeler gets a bite of his own, sits back for it.
Leg collection there, gets a good... Yeah, he's recovered the knee line well there.
Yeah, and part of the skill is being able to transition between these leg attempts or the entanglement attempts and using it to come up and get on top.
I think we might see a repositioning.
That's going to be an awkward one to reset.
What would you call that leg position, Chris?
I don't know. Sort of...
double inside, outside something.
Double inside, outside, calf crush, heel hold, inversion.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, fair play to them.
They've got exactly. Yeah. We would call that double not in trouble.
Okay, he's trying to control the hip, keep Sam Morgan flat so he can go around the legs. That's the thing, when you're going around the legs, if they can turn to their sides, that means the legs are going to be there. It's hard to get around. Keep them flat. Oh, gets a nice honey hole position. Oh, now he's switched it. He's got a single leg.
Actually looks pretty good. He's got the knee line there. Jimmy's doing a good job.
He's going for a straight foot lock. And this is brutal straight foot lock from that position when you get your knees wide, you're based out. Loses it.
Yeah, we said this was going to be a battle of the legs, and that's exactly what it's turning into.
He doesn't have the knee line at all, does?
No, I think he's going for the straight by the looks of things.
This is what you need to do. It's a bit like boxing. You need your jab to set up your cross. You need your guard pass to set up your leg entry. It's like you've got to be faking both. If you just keep sitting back, it becomes too obvious.
Yeah, gone are the days of being able to pick up legs from butterfly guard or Z guard and be able to drop straight back on them. You've got to start setting them up with... oh, that's beautiful. Straight into the mounted position. Jimmy does a good job straight away of getting onto his side. He's got his frames in on the hips of his opponent, trying to create some space, flattens him out. That's lovely.
Getting to his side again. Yeah, what Jimmy Wheeler needs to do here is he needs to be trying to trap that leg. You see him just push it between his legs. Beautiful work. Oh, the rolling back take.
Beautiful.
Sam Morgan with the skills.
That's very impressive. Yeah, nice control on the back.
Yeah, it's not the full twister roll, is it? I think it's a mini bolo when you just hook the leg and roll like that.
I want to say that was a samurai roll, but I need to see a replay.
Sounds like sushi. Okay, trying to control the foot.
Oh, he's onto something there.
Interesting.
I've seen a couple of these.
Usually you see a toe hold from that position. You trap one leg, you sort of put yourself in half guard, and you grab the other one. You pull to the outside. It's like a catch wrestling submission. It's like a hip lock. Or you can go to the toe hold on the inside.
Yeah, I think I saw a Josh Barnett instruction on a couple of those.
I can make catch wrestling. No one does catch wrestling anymore. It's cool.
I've never tried it.
It's got cool names. Everything's a Kimura. I don't really know. Oh! Look at that. Absolutely stunning with the no-gi baseball bat choke finish. Woo! I think he got such a bite on it straight away. It just cranked the neck. You could see him touch his shoulder afterwards. Felt that one.
Sam looked a bit injured there. I hope he's all right.
I think every grappler in the world has got a bad neck.
And your winner via baseball bat choke.
You get caught with that no-gi baseball bat choke, and it's so hard. I mean, we call it a no-gi baseball bat choke because the traditional one is you've got the gi there, you grab it like you're holding a baseball bat, and then you can crank it. The no-gi version is a lot tougher. Usually it requires really good hip mobility, wrist mobility and flexibility. It's a very advanced move, and I'm surprised that Sam Morgan got caught in it, to be honest, but I think, yeah, he just cranked it so fast. He felt it in his neck and his shoulder straight away. Look at this roll.
Yeah, that's a beautiful roll, isn't it?
Fantastic. And this finish, look at that, absolutely stunning. The crank he got on it, that was amazing.
That was incredibly uncomfortable. No, he's done a very good job there, Jimmy Wheeler.
It was a bit of a standard grip as well. Sometimes you'll see people do like an inverted grip where you put the back of your hand against their neck. This is hard to do, no one can see me. But you do this.
Reverse S grip?
Reverse S grip, there we go.
Now we've got a very exciting match next. We've got Tom, the most dope strong, versus Tyler Harding. And I'll just let Gav announce it
kilo brown belt division, fighting out of J Butler BJJ, Tom Most Dope Strong!
Now Tom Most Dope Strong, I mean he's a full-time jiu-jitsu guy. He's an instructor over there at J Butler BJJ, and he's also been on Grapple Fest multiple times and a couple of other big grappling shows all over the UK, and he comes with a fierce reputation.
Absolutely, he's an incredibly experienced and knowledgeable grappler. We've had him in here at least once for a seminar. He's got a very unique game, and originally he was supposed to be up against Sam Whitehouse, Wilco, who sadly had to pull out on 2 days' notice.
On 24 hours' notice, fighting out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Banbury, Tyler Harding!
And Tyler has really put it all on the line here. He's taking this on 24 hours notice. He's an unbelievably exciting grappler, Chris.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how excited I am for this one. It's a big step up for him. Tom's a fantastic opponent. He really is putting it on the line and stepping up to the plate here. But I think Tyler's going to put on a show.
Oh, this is exciting. This is really exciting. I sort of have a feeling this is not going to go the full 8 minutes, but who knows?
You can expect to see a lot of aggression out of Tyler. You're going to see a big pace, and he's got some unbelievable front headlock and arm lock attacks. Some really good series.
Tom straight away with that overwrap.
Yeah,
it's not
working that Williams guard early doors, and Tyler's done a good job of
looking for that inversion. Is it interesting? Tom was just drilling inversions, waiting for his opponent to work out, was warming up his back. Uses it so well, spins to the back position. Tyler needs to block those hooks.
See, Tom looks incredibly well prepared for this match.
Yeah, he's in great shape. Drags him to his feet, looking for the back. Got that body lock. Coming out, playing guard now.
Yeah, nice, Tyler. Sorry, another bit of slightly biased commentary. Yeah, Tyler very active with that pass, securing it well. That's
fantastic pass.
Looking to establish a position.
And what a moment for Tyler this is as well. He's taken this match on no notice in his hometown. Nice bite on the heel, really nice. Oh, just missed out on it. Getting feisty on the edge of the mat.
Oh, this is good.
It's just the smoothness of Tom Strong. There's the way he can invert flow. He's like the whole Bruce Lee Be Water thing going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just inverts at the drop of a hat. Really dangerous leg attacks there. Just feels like he's threatening from everywhere, doesn't he?
Oh, it really does. He's dangerous. But Tyler, you can see how well trained Tyler is. You can see everything coming. He's transitioning.
Yeah, and he's keeping calm. He's got a good pinch on that head. You might see Tyler drop on that leg. Yeah, nice. Sorry, I am impartial.
I keep singing Tom's praises, so you can be a Tyler fan. We know that J Butler, BJJ, they're just Jay's a fantastic coach himself, and Tom teaching there, instructing. It's going to really help. Once again, Tyler gets a nice bite on the leg.
Yeah, lovely series there. Good bites on the legs, great escapes.
Oh, that was what a backstep. He set it up so well. He's going to slip out of it easily.
Yeah, he's cleared the knee line well there. That was a beautiful setup.
That was so nice. He's disguised it, and that's what we were talking about earlier. You know, the boxer getting behind the jab. That was Tyler getting behind various passing attempts and then setting up the backstep.
And that backstep honey hole entry is very, very tight once you get in. It's a great way to get into double trouble.
Trying to grab the head, Tom. Yeah, I sort of had Tom as like a big favourite going into this, but Tyler is looking really sharp.
Doing extremely well, isn't he? Particularly on 24 hours notice.
Yeah.
Tyler just stays in unbelievable shape. He's in the gym every day, works. He's the hardest worker in the room, as well as one of the most talented. So I'm really pleased to see him doing so well on stage here.
Oh, it shows. Definitely shows. Oh, Tom has got a nice bite in the back though. He's got that single leg locked, and if you lock one of your opponent's legs and you control that diagonal shoulder too, he's got Tyler's left leg and his right arm. That diagonal control makes it very hard to escape. It's like the basis of a twister, really.
Absolutely, yeah. He's in the twister fundamentals there.
Well, he's got a nice crank on the neck. Good squeeze.
Yeah,
Tyler's out.
Tyler's
left his arm behind.
Well.
Oh, passes.
This is so good, Chris.
This is incredible.
Tyler is straight back onto it. Gavin calling him to not disrespect the triangle, keep his P's and Q's tight on the way in.
That's the thing. This is we were talking about Hoist Gracie earlier. He was on a podcast talking about not making mistakes and having good defense and waiting for your partner to essentially mess up. This is like so precise. If either man leaves his arm a little bit too late or the foot a little bit too deep, this could be over.
The technical level in this match is just phenomenal, isn't it? Both guys.
And such good mutual respect as well. They know each other's dangerous. What a nice little crank on the neck. Interesting control. The head push. It's one of those factors as well. The wall, we sort of, here at Zion, we let them play through a little bit against the wall, and a lot of people don't train that in the gym. A lot of gyms, you hit the wall, you just stop and reset. It's quite a useful skill to train.
Yeah, and you feel like Tom needs a little bit of space here against the wall to...
Yeah. Tyler sitting back for another leg. Jay Butler talking, wants Tom Strong to counter the leg locks, not just escape them.
Yeah, I think the ref might do well to get us back in the middle there. Yeah, nice.
Woo, 2 minutes 20. It's like nervous. It's gone quiet in here. Everyone's like, ugh.
Yeah, myself.
Tense.
Oh, beautiful pass from Tyler there.
Tense. And like a very pro Tyler crowd as well.
Yeah.
Loving this.
Tyler's doing well to stay calm here. He's going to try and work over for the mount.
This is going to be such a statement for the UK Jiu-Jitsu scene of Tyler coming in against a very, very polished veteran, and who's currently, with 2 minutes to go, in the mount position, trying to set up submissions. Looking for an arm.
Looks like he's got an arm there. Does look like he's got an arm there. This would be huge. He gets the tap.
Whoa! Tyler Harding puts his name on the map. Everyone in the UK, keep your eyes out for this guy. Phenomenal. Came in there as a huge underdog on a week's notice. Gets the nod.
Unbelievable victory.
And not just a win, but a win with a finish. Incredible performance.
That is an unbelievable performance.
Atmosphere. It's electric here.
And you winner by
Unbelievable.
I know Tyler's going to have a lot of fans watching this live on pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Well, your boy has done something special right there. Incredible.
Right, I've had a minute to Sorry. That was so good.
Wow,
so good.
what a
And
match.
an unbelievable performance from both fighters there. Super high level. The technical exchanges were unbelievable. Tom, unbelievably good at transitioning to the back. Just everything was spot on. What more could you ask for in a televised jiu-jitsu match?
Oh, yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we've got the final 3 matches on the main card.
Let's talk through them. We've got some incredible matches. We've got Rosie Clark against Jade Barker coming up shortly. Then we'll have Kamil Ochoki versus Douglas Dutra, and then Jack Tyler versus Asim Hussein as our main event. Oh, it's exciting. I'm still buzzing for that last match. I can't take any more of this, Patrick.
That is unbelievable, right? I believe we've got some pre-recorded introductions to these matches now, which I think we're going to move to.
Excellent. Let's go to Gavin for the intros.
So we've got 2 title fights at this year's Zion. The first is the first time that this featherweight belt has been up for grabs. We have Douglas Dutra, who was supposed to be against Keenan Starkey, but unfortunately Keenan injured his arm, competing elsewhere, so speedy recovery of Kieran. We have Kamil Ochoki from Team FTT, who stepped up to try and take the belt.
Okay, and we're back. Now we've got the first of the 3.
I don't think my heart can take it after that last match. Oh, unbelievable. Wow.
I don't think I've even calmed down yet. That was an unbelievable match, and we've got a lot more to come.
Well, we've got Rosie Clark taking on Jade Barker next. Let me just go through this for you, or wait for our IMC to get ready. Rosie Clark, Naga Absolute Champion, English Open Nogi Champion, British Open Champion, Naga Germany Champion, IBJJF Milan Champion, IBJJF and Geneva Champion. Champion.
That's a bit of a resume, isn't it? That's a bit of a resume.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Right, now we're going to hand over to Gav to introduce the matches.
Okay, guys, my voice hasn't got a chance. Your next match in the 60-kilo brown belt bracket, fighting out of J Butler JJ, Rosie Clark.
Let me just reread those for you. Naga Division and Absolute Champion, English Open Nogi Champion, British Open Champion, Naga Germany Champion, IBJJF Milan Champion, IBJJF Geneva Champion.
I don't think I've done that many competitions in my life, let alone won them.
Absolutely incredible. Now, the J Butler crew have had a bit of a tough day so far. I feel like they've saved the best till last. They've got their secret weapon here in Rosie Clark. But she's
and her opponent,
fighting
out of Vita Shaolin BJJ, Jade Barker!
So Jade Barker coming in, Naga champion, Grapplers Challenge champion, Grappling Industries London champion.
This is about as high level as you can get in the UK, isn't it, Chris?
It's just Battle of the Champions, is what we've got.
Absolutely. A couple of, or 2 Naga gold champions.
And that's also, it's a very similar rule set, the Naga rule set. It's got the heel hooks, it's got the game that this guy's going to be used to here. And this is a real interesting one.
And this is a brown belt match, I believe.
Yep. And sometimes it's difficult for, there's less females do this sport, so it can be difficult as a high-level brown black belt female to get challenging matchups, especially if you're this level. So this is a real battle between 2 of the best in the world. Immediately onto the floor. Rosie Clark on top, trying to look to pass Jade Barker on the bottom, using that knee shield, trying to make space. Just trying to make space with the knee shield and then control the hands, possibly the other leg. Set up entries. Oh, Rosie Clark sees it. Hips one way, then the other. Now, Patrick, what does Jade Barker need to do from this position to get out of this side control?
Ideally, she needs to get that right hand frame active to try and create some space, but...
Oh, not that. That is difficult. That was a really smooth transition once again by Rosie Clark. She's Mrs. Smooth.
This is just, there's so much pressure there, isn't there? And you can see that transition over to the mat was so smooth. And you could feel, and this is really a reflection of the quality of the 2 grapplers, from the past there was no gap in pressure at all. Everything was super tight, and I think that's what's made that move over into mount look as good as it did.
She's gone shin on the bicep. She's now trying to bring the leg over the head. It will mean she can isolate the other arm, the right arm of Jade Barker, and bring it away from body. Jade sees it coming, gets her hands together, gets a strong grip.
And are we going to see a step over the head there to get the omoplata?
Jade trying to spin up the back.
This, like the last match, you can just see how high level this is.
Yeah.
All the exchanges, all the techniques are so tight.
And it's an interesting position this that Rosie Clark's got. She's got this side control, but she's got the leg trap, the arm trapped between her legs, which means she can now attack Jade Barker's left arm, and Jade can't as easily use her arm to defend it.
Looks like she's getting quite a good grip on that Kimura trap there, so we might see a big move to get that over to the other side.
Yep, she's trying to cinch it up.
Yeah, that's a good recovery there.
Oh, beautiful transition to the triangle. Oh, not a triangle, armbar, sorry.
Tap.
All over.
Beautiful.
Absolutely incredible. She saw it as well. You could see she gave it the top position. She got that bite on the arm. She could feel it. She transitioned to the bottom with it all locked in. And another win and another accolade on the resume of Rosie Clark.
Your winner by armbar, Rosie Clark!
Two unbelievably high-level grapplers there, putting on a really good show. Wow. We're racing through these matches.
We are racing through the matches. It's too much fun. I don't want it to be over.
I don't want it to be over either. Now we've got Camille versus Dutra in the next match.
Indeed, we do. Camille versus Dutra. Yep, the Poland versus Portugal. I think they're natural enemies. I have no idea.
Now, I've trained with Camille a little bit in Fighting Top Team, which is a fantastic gym over towards kind of Northampton area. An unbelievable work ethic in that gym.
Is that under
super tough?
It's Lucas Lepianka's gym.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. So, expecting big things. Camille is an absolute savage on the mats. The pressure that he puts out is unbelievable, and he's been training for a long time, and I believe has recently been promoted into purple belt. So, I think we're going to move to a little introduction for both of the fighters.
Yep, straight over to Gavin. We'll be going to that video in just a moment. One moment.
So we've got two title fights at this year's Zion. The first is the first time that this featherweight belt has been up for grabs. We have Douglas Ducter, who was supposed to be against Kieran Starkey, but unfortunately Kieran's injured his arm, completely elsewhere, so speedy recovery Kieran. And we have Kimberly Kochski from Team FTT, who stepped up to try and take the belt.
Okay, here we go. We've got this fight coming up shortly, but this is the last or the penultimate match on the main event for today, and then we're back into that quintet. Are you as excited as I am for this?
I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for our main event match after this, and I'm so excited for that quintet. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than this. If you're a grappling nerd, like I know you and I are, this is like the Super Bowl.
This is Super Bowl Sunday for us.
Incredible.
And I'm very fortunate to this to be in the home gym. What more can you ask for?
Okay, guys. Now on to the title fights. This is for the 65-kilo featherweight belts. Introducing first, fighting out of Fighting Top Team, Camille O'Chucky.
So this is Zion. This is our first title fight of the evening. This title fight brought to you by multiple sponsors. We got Zebra Mats UK. We also have Pure Recharge acai. I like a bit of acai. You into acai?
I absolutely am. We've got.
You do jiu-jitsu, you have to have some acai, do you? Grappler soap, Bugatti shoes, Grapple Rat, who I'm in love with their gear. I've just been checking out downstairs. It's so well put together. I love the designs. And then Take the Fingers, the cameraman that is floating around the background of this video shot somewhere.
Takes some unbelievable pictures. I've seen a lot of his work. Always very excited when we see him at competitions.
And he put out pictures the other day of him shirtless. He's jacked, you know this? It's just like, this dude is...
Well, speaking of Jack, Camille looks like he's cut an awful lot of weight to get down to, is it 63 we got here? Sorry, 65. 65.
Yep.
He's done very well because I've, again, seen him in the gym and he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a proper big fella. Oh, look, Flair raring to go. Nice show of sportsmanship as well.
Yeah, nice show of respect.
Now this is our title fight because they are both so highly respected, high-level grapplers. There's a weird mix of things being shouted from the crowd in Portuguese and Polish. Jumps guard early. Douglas Dutra gets a nice angle straight away as well. Camille knows the danger. Not usually what you see. You don't usually see someone holding the head if you're in full guard. You're usually trying to posture up, but I think it's just to slow down the pace a little bit. He wants to square up. He wants to be nice and straight with Douglas Dutra. He doesn't want this angle. The angle is always good for the guy on the bottom and never really good for the guy on the top. Good, that's how you pass a guard. No respect.
Leave me alone. I'm getting up. Yeah, the Derek Lewis school of
just stand up.
Just stand up.
It's sort of right. Occasionally I remind myself, I'm like, oh, what a sweep. Straight back to the bottom though. It's one of those things, you put in all this effort for a big move like that, a big sweep like that, and then you immediately put back on the bottom.
This is a huge amount of output early doors from Douglas Dutra. Looks like he's on a leg there.
Yeah, it's fairly deep as well.
That knee bar looks like it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all about fighting that knee line now for Douglas Dutra. He wants to get space. But also, if you can control the hands, you can stop a lot of the leg locks, but it sort of ties you into it.
God, that...
Oh, step through, lovely. Douglas Dutra is an athlete.
That leg removal from the heel, it was lightning fast, wasn't it? Straight back to his feet. That would have taken me about 2 days.
Takes me 2 days just to stand up these days. Jumping guard again. How do you feel about jumping guard, Patrick? I'm not a fan.
It makes me extremely nervous.
Yeah, I feel like you're just going to bust someone's leg.
Yeah, it makes me very nervous.
I think in the lighter weight divisions, probably not quite as dangerous.
Yeah, don't like the idea of you pulling a jumping guard on me. I think there'd be a huge hole in the floor and we'd be on the bottom level.
Look at his high guard. Look, he's worked his feet up. Affects the posture. He's stepped over. He's looking for that armbar. He's got a pretty good bite on it. I think he's lost it now, though.
Yeah, and he might be able to pass there.
Great defense by Camel. Looking to the ref. I think there's a little issue with the face pushing and posting. This is jiu-jitsu, not MMA. But I don't think from Camo it was with a vicious attempt or a vicious intent.
Didn't look like it to me.
It's also this mercy position, this like interlaced fingers. Some fighters seem to love it. I hate it. Look at my fingers.
Yeah, jumping straight on our leg there.
Oh.
That looked like a very, very tight foot lock.
It just slipped out, didn't it? Douglas Dutra, no selling it. Just shaking his head, even though that looks pretty tight. But there's so many... Yeah, there's a lot of jiu-jitsu fighters that tell me straight foot locks don't work, which I think they're crazy, but... Oh, lovely step over.
Yeah, that is beautiful, isn't it? Flattening him out, trying to get that far side hook in again.
He does move like a cat, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's so fast.
He's in on the neck with no hooks, but I mean, if he's under the chin, this will be it.
Oh, that looks very tight.
Oh, done. He had a heavy angle on it. Douglas Dutra enjoying the moment. I was really impressed by Campbell's movement and his defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was relentless attacks by Douglas Dutra, flying guard pulls and cartwheeling over. Just
the energy he
incredible.
brought in, as soon as he walked out, you knew that was going to be a very exciting match. All of those flying guard pulls, I think it's just a lot to cope with when you've got that level of energy. You're trying to keep your own composure under the big crowd.
And that's some of that everyday porrada, charge training.
And it's strap season for Douglas.
I'm not a fan of everyday porrada. I'm like everyday a muffin and a cup of coffee. That's more my speed. But... Oh, he's calling out to the crowd. Anyone out there, any UK grapplers in the 65 kilogram division, drop us a message here at Zion, email 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Banbury, and say, I think I can beat Douglas Dutra. I want to challenge him for that bout. If you've got a good competition resume, we might even make that matchup happen.
Yeah.
But you're going to have your hands full.
We'll think you're pretty crazy, but we'll absolutely love to see it.
Me and you, obviously, if we've made the weight, we'd challenge him, but we're just too big.
And of course, the only reason we're not doing that is the weight.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Also, it's like humiliating about a man cartwheeling over you. Hurts my feelings. Absolutely incredible. There's athleticism as well. There's so many styles of jiu-jitsu. It's such a fun martial art to learn because you have people like that just fly around the mat, and you have someone else who's like slow and methodical and ploddy. And it's just so interesting, these like different styles. Right, we're going to be going to our next match of the evening. This one is going to be insane, absolutely insane. We have Jack Tyler taking on Asim Hussein.
And I believe you know Asim Hussein.
Yeah, I got to train him a few times. We're going to cut to Gav right now. He's going to give us a little intro.
So the co-main event sees Jack Tyler returning to defend against Asim Hussein. Asim giving up a little bit of weight maybe, experience-wise and style-wise. I can't call it. I don't know which way this match goes. It's a phenomenal match. That's why it's co-main event.
Yeah, just like you were saying, I do know Asim Hussein. So it makes me feel quite bad that I've been around this industry so long that I remember teaching guys that have now got black belts when they were white and blue belts. But yeah, I was teaching over in High Wycombe where he lives and trains with, I think it's Uswa Jiu-Jitsu. And he used to just occasionally pop into my class when I had a class over there and jump in. And I remember even then, this is a long time ago, I was one of the first people that sort of started doing leg locks and said it was okay in your classes. I was even in the gi, a rebel.
Before we go into the quintet,
Asim used to come and train with me, and he was quite into it. He was like, you could see he was open-minded even then.
An early adopter.
An early adopter.
Championship bout already held by Jack Tyler. He's defending the strap for the first time. Introducing first, from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu London, the champion, Jack Tyler!
I'm really excited to see Jack Tyler. He's incredibly active on the competitive circuit.
Yeah.
Loads and loads of highlight reel finishes. I've seen him finish some buggy chokes in Polaris. I remember the last time I saw him out.
Wasn't it longer?
I'm pretty sure it was quite a lot longer.
I'm upset. That's the power. It's Samson's mane or whatever. Like.
But no, incredibly exciting athlete, I think, and he's obviously defending his belt from last year. Fantastic exhibition. I believe it was a heel hook finish the last time he was here on Zion. We were calling that match.
His opponent,
so yeah, this is going to be a big one.
Out of Oswald Jiu-Jitsu, Asim Hussein!
Yeah, Asim Hussein, English Open Gold, Grapplers Industry Silver, Naga Gold, London Open Gold, British Open Gold, BJJ 24/7 Gold. And he's been on a few of these super fight shows as well. Had a few wins, had a few losses on super fights, but he's been really gaining experience. I mean, he's a new black belt. He's only, I think, in the last year or so.
Really.
And also, proudly wearing this rash guard, right? And we all have different political beliefs, but I think you should be able to wear whatever clothes you want.
100%.
And a certain jiu-jitsu competition told him he couldn't compete in it, which I think is ridiculous.
That's very sad to see.
You can wear whatever you want, especially here at Zion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shame on them.
And what can we expect to see from Asim?
I think we'll see this. We're seeing him playing guard. I think he's a little undersized, to be honest, against Jack Tyler, and it's going to be an issue. But Asim he's really well-rounded. Whereas I'm sort of expecting Jack Tyler to sit back for a leg at some point, just based on the last Iron.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you might be right. I think we're likely to see a couple of leg entries. I think we're also going to be treated to some of the 10th Planet syllabus. I know that he plays a lot of that and does very, very well with it. So fascinating to see how this one plays out.
And this is the last match, this like frenetic pace, and I was saying how that can change with styles. We're just seeing like slow and technical and controlled now. We're seeing this little just trying to find an opening, trying to see if there's like a little mistake made.
Just fighting for millimeters, right?
Yeah. And Asim was supposed to compete on the last Zion, and I think his opponent pulled out and he missed out on the match.
Oh, really?
He's been very keen to get on this show. Yeah, Jack Tyler on top, in half guard. Asim on the bottom, controlling that leg. He's going to be trying to get a left underhook and turn onto his side.
Playing the lockdown, I believe, on that far side, if I'm correct.
It's going to be tough on any 10th Planet fighter. You're playing into their syllabus. You want to find the bit that they're not versed in.
Yeah, and Jack's using his left foot, from what I can see. I'm a bit limited on angle, but from what I can see, he's using his left foot to go for what we would call the no-hand pass. Yeah, that's beautiful.
And he gets it, yeah. And this is this size difference. Jack's just that little bit bigger and heavier, and Asim is going to struggle to be able to just, explode and bridge him off.
And he's really solidifying his position here. He's not rushing into anything. Asim trying to get some foot position there, maybe realign his hips. But Jack looks like he's got a grip on an arm up there, and he's transitioning off to something.
Oh, he stepped through for a triangle. He's come over it. He's going to either try and isolate the arm and finish an arm lock or a Kimura, or he's going to sit back and lock up this triangle. Sit back and lock up the triangle, I think it is. He's going to look for an angle. Asim made a little bit of a mistake there. If he could have driven forward, not come up to his knees, it would have been hard for Tyler to get the angle. Oh, it's all over.
That's absolutely clinical from Jack. No legs, no 10th penalty symbol. So I got it absolutely wrong, but we got a fantastic display of jiu-jitsu instead.
It was a great display of skills. Absolutely phenomenal.
Your winner, and still Zion welterweight champion, Jack Taylor.
That's a fantastic result for Jack Tyler. That was clinical, absolutely no space, battling for millimeters in inside space. And he's defended his title.
Yeah, I mean, what a moment as well. In here, in 10th Planet Banbury, on Zion, fast becoming the UK's biggest grappling show with Zion.
And
he's the champ.
He's absolutely the champ. He's absolutely the champ. I'm looking forward to seeing who.
Have you got to roll with him at all, Jack?
I've never been able to roll with Jack. No, I did go to a seminar. We had a Keith Krikorian seminar, and I believe he was in the room for that, but I've got to be honest, I think I was a little bit too scared.
Yeah, I'd be scared. He seems like a lovely guy.
I think I've got a few kilos on him, but didn't fancy that smoke.
Yeah, weight advantage doesn't mean so much when someone is that good.
Absolutely right. So I think we've got a short break now, so we're going to roll to a VT, and then we're going to be back for the quintet.
We're going to be back on the quintet.
We're going to be back for the quintet.
So excited.
And we get to see Brad Boyden back on the mats a year later.
Gonna fully kit out the gym with the best match you've ever seen.
Completely upgraded the match space by about 20 times. Absolutely outdone themselves with everything that they've done. A sprung floor with like best match you can get, Zebra. It's unbelievable what they've done. Honestly, like I've never walked on a mat that's like this before. Cannot wait to watch the reactions of all the fight team as they come in and see it for the first time.
Glad this is it.
It's really special, isn't it?
Sound, isn't it?
The biggest moment of our whole gym's life was that night for us all.
Can't wait to train on them, man.
Hello, grappling fans around the world. We are live. We have our main event coming up in just a moment. Patrick, I'm so excited.
It's finally here.
It's
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You can feel it in the room. Just everybody's on the edge of their seats. Everybody cannot wait to see it kick off.
Incredible. Let's talk through a few of the names we got. Right, we've got Tom Kagi coming out. He's the head coach of Team Nexus. We got Tom Brees, former UFC fighter, PFL fighter. We got Brad Boyden, who beat a whole team last time.
Yeah,
just absolutely smashed through them. And then we had a bit of a late replacement. We now have Aya S. Fanmaz on the opposite side on Team ESG, a judo black belt, multiple-time IBJJF black belt champion in every possible tournament, including Europeans. Also Ellis Green on that team, Ali Tajani, just absolutely stacked both these teams. Absolutely phenomenal. What are you excited about this?
I can't wait. I mean, my hope and prayer is that we get to see Aya and Brad come out as the #1 picks of each. What? That would just be incredible as a starter. We've actually had to introduce, after last year, the Brad Boyden rule, which is a charging rule, which means that we can't just slam each other into the crowd. So they get 3 opportunities to do that before they get seated down. And I think there's going to be a few boos from the crowd, maybe a little bit from the commentary if that does happen. And they have to get sat down, but it is there for a reason. So honestly, can't wait. And now we're going to cut to a little bit of an explainer from Gavin Stewart, head coach here at 10 Planet Banbury, about the quintet rules.
So as always with Zion, the main event is for the quintet title. Nexus are returning, they're going for the hat trick. If they win this will be the 3rd time in a row that Nexus have took the quintet title. But Team ESG, Jed Hughes, elite submission grappling team, they're coming to play. The only difference in the rule set for the quintet match is there's no EVI overtime round. So if it is a draw in the quintet match, both players are eliminated, the next 2 players come on, and we go again. It's not the quintet isn't over until a whole team has been eliminated, okay? So you could have the first player eliminate the whole of the team. It's not over until all 5 members are gone, okay? In the unlikely event that every match is a draw, the 2 team captains will go again for an overtime match, 8 minutes, and that one would be decided by an EVI overtime round. So no matter what, there'll be no decisions. It'll be the win will come either via stoppage or via quickest escape time. So a little bit more about the 2 teams competing. Let's meet them.
Mattia Florena, Ali Tajani, Arya S. Fanmaz, Jacob G. Katzelfleet, Nico Bilado, Brad Boyden, Lyndon Collins, Thomas Grandjean, Tom Brees, Tom Colkey.
And we are back here live at Zion number 4. I can't believe how much this tournament has grown. From the little grassroots, we're only 4 in, and it's huge.
I don't even think it's as many as that. I think it's 3, isn't it?
Is this 3?
Zion 3? Well, we probably should know, but it sounds like we don't. But we've got an unbelievable lineup here for the quintet. If last year is anything to go by, we've got an amazing 25 minutes ahead of us. So without further ado, let's get Gavin to get us started.
We're going to go to our main man, our announcer and matchmaker, Mr. Gavin Stewart. He's getting ready right now. He's going to be going live.
Okay, guys, it's time for the main event! This is a quintet match, so 5v5. The match isn't over until one team has had every single player beaten. Every match is 8 minutes. Its winner stays on. And if there's a draw, no EBI overtime round for this one, both players are eliminated. If it has happened before, it's a draw throughout all 5 matches. The 2 team captains will have another overtime match with the EBI overtime round. So, introducing first, your challengers. Headed by team captain Mattia Florina, team Elite Submission Grappling!
This is team ESG with that captain, Mattia Florina. And we were having a little chat about him earlier. He sort of famously broke someone's leg on Ocean BJJ on a pro card. And he's a bit of a savage.
Yeah. It's an incredibly intimidating team, isn't it? We're just looking at it from across the mat now. Woo. A couple of the guys there we've seen in action already today, or at least one of the guys there we've seen in action already today. We're pretty big lads, Chris, aren't we? But I'm quite happy you sat where I am instead of being on that mat against them.
This quintet format sort of reminds me of like 2 armies standing across a field, you know, with bayonets, getting ready to run at each other.
Absolutely.
Terrifying. But they're going to have their hands full with Team Nexus.
Aren't they just? Aren't they just?
And their opponents, headed up by team captain Tom Coffey, the reigning, defending quintet champions, Team Nexus!
Woo! Team Nexus. Tom Coffey, Tom Brees, Brad Boyden, Thomas Grandjean, Lyndon Collins. What a team. Absolutely stacked team.
And these 5 guys, without a doubt, represent some of the best grapplers in the country.
Yeah.
It's actually a bit of a pinch yourself moment to be able to sit here and watch this go down.
Holy moly. Just both teams, any one of these 10 fighters would be just terrifying.
Nightmare.
It's a bit like we've got 10 main events, like
really
5 main events. Absolute madness. And dude, like, I found Brad a bit terrifying with his size last time. He's got bigger. He's definitely bigger.
Definitely got
his
bigger.
Shoulders and arms are doubled in size.
And he's not the biggest guy on the mat today, which is even more frightening. I hope that the camera crews aren't too attached to any of this electrical equipment, because
we're very close.
So just to remind ourselves, it's a 5 versus 5, so it's a knockout competition. The winner of each of the matches goes through into the next round against a different opponent.
Yep.
If there is a draw, then both players are eliminated, and the running order for each of the matches is a secret. So, and this is exactly what we'd hoped for. We've got Brad Boyden at number 1 and Aya as number 2. 2 enormously experienced heavyweight black belts.
Have we finally got someone that might bully Brad?
This is Christmas come early. This really is.
Here we go, Brad Boyden, the star of last Zion. Aya Fernandez, judo black belt. Could we see a huge throw?
Like we say, the referee introducing the Brad Boyden rule there. Just an unbelievably dominant force on the mats here.
You've got 2 guys that neither of them want to take a backward step, both such physical specimens. Aya with that judo background. It's difficult with someone that's good at judo as well. You can't just rely on underhooks. Sometimes with that whizzer, with that overwrap, they use that to set up big throws. Aya with the double underhooks. He's the one driving out of bounds now.
God, the room just is not big enough, is it?
I think we could have a mat 4 times the size. It would still feel small.
Brad going for a lap drop early doors, nearly gets a bit of bite, but still standing.
It'd be interesting if, will they just sort of cancel each other out and we'll have 8 minutes of shoving and then 2 of the monsters of both teams will be taken out. There's a bit of gamesmanship here. Do you take risks, try and blast through 2 or 3 of them, or do you slow down a bit?
But let's not forget the strength and depth in each of these teams, because we've got some big names on the card after this.
Yep. Brad grip fighting. Eye up, pummeling in, not giving anything. This is the first battle. The first battle is the grips. There's all these micro battles before you get to the point of a submission. It's who can get the stronger grip, and then who can get the stronger body position, then who can get the takedown, then who can get top position, and you got to do all these steps.
And I think for people watching this, it's so difficult to explain and emphasize how technical these grip exchanges are. The hand fighting, or the art of hand fighting in and of itself, is such a skill. And it's so difficult to see it from the commentary box, isn't it? It's so difficult to see from the camera angles, but they're working on absolute millimeter adjustments, trying to get inside space, trying to judge what each other's doing.
Oh, Brad gets a nice under. Aya turns him, using the cage wall, as it were. Brad ends up on top. Aya from the bottom. Very, very good work by Brad Boyd to finish on the top.
Absolutely so.
Aya pummeling in, getting back to butterfly hooks. He's going to be trying to use those legs to make space. Brad sitting back for the leg. Oh, heel hook attempt of his own for Aya Fernandez.
That's
spins around Aya, now on top in a dominant position, takes side control.
Brilliant use of that Aoki lock to counter and then get the pass. I feel like he might.
That's a lot.
Slow the match down. And
yeah, this is if Aya's in a dominant position, he's going to want to cook him, as we've been talking about today.
Yeah.
He's keeping his knees close to him. He's blocking that hit with the knee. His other right knee is going to be going to his head and controlling Brad's right arm, trying to keep him pinned to the mat, make him uncomfortable, make him make mistakes.
And you feel like this is just going to be the most unbelievable concrete blanket.
Yeah.
Taking his weight off his knees, putting it into Brad's chest and neck. Brad's staying very disciplined with his frames.
But if there was a man that could bridge him off, it's probably Brad Boyden.
Bringing his knee up there, getting his hips high, giving Brad a little bit of space there to. That's excellent.
Yeah, and we know that his pressure game from that judo, that passing, that trying to get on top. Brad trying to get a bite on the leg, but it's just so much weight and power to move. Everyone intently looking at the clock, trying to figure out the strategy. And reset in the middle of the mat. This is so different from last time where we saw Brad just able to bully everyone.
Yeah.
He's the battle of the bullies. He's coming off slightly worse at the moment.
Yeah, he's in bottom position, but I'd be very hesitant after the last match that we saw to count him out at this point.
No, I'm not counting him out. There's a small bite, he's dangerous, and it's one of those things. Oh, but as Brad escapes,
there's a
judo.
He's got a bit of a choi bar grip there, but he's managed to pull it away.
Oh, Brad with the sweep.
Beautiful.
Phenomenal jiu-jitsu.
Back into butterflies, bring him back into...
And Brad's ability to escape. I mean, there's side control pressure, and then there's judo side control pressure. You have a highly decorated judo black belt, get side control on you, that pin. They train it for years, just holding someone down. That's how you can win a match in judo. And Brad managed to make the space, get the hook, and escape.
So Brad's got the body lock here.
There's a bit of a chat about the reset. Gamesmanship. You could change a little grip. You just can't do too much. So going from butterfly to close is probably pushing your luck.
And I think this might have helped Brad's position slightly, because you see I was starting to bring that leg up to try and nullify the body lock, which he now can't do because of those butterfly hooks. Very, very sticky, not letting Brad's leg get too much space to move.
We have 2 minutes 40 seconds left in the first matchup. This could be a double elimination of maybe the two of the strongest members on either team. And it becomes a strategy sometimes of dragging this to the end of the time to eliminate you both.
And I think that's a smart play for both teams. You've got two incredibly dominant players here, and getting them off the chessboard, as it were, maybe very smart from both players.
Now, what Aya wants to do from here, he wants to make space. He doesn't want Brad holding down. He doesn't want his head in his chest. He wants space. Brad, if he comes up, he wants to get lots of space. Or dives in on a leg. Both beautiful leg attacks.
Yeah, he dove on that.
Oh, what a... Oh, but countered.
Brad stays on top. That is unbelievable.
That is phenomenal wrestling. On paper, you had to give a bigger wrestling advantage to Aya Fernandez. He's heavier, he's more decorated grappler from standing, but Brad Boyden having none of it.
Absolutely having none of it. And has managed to get on top of both of those scramble exchanges where the takedown was initiated by Aya, so doing very well.
And I always find it interesting, the big guys playing guard. And then you're a big guy as well, maybe we can get your opinion on it. It's interesting as in, how much are they playing guard in the gym? Are they always on top because they're the big bully? Or do they sort of play guard for the fun of it?
I think as a big guy playing guard has a lot of advantages because you've got such a low centre of gravity and a lot of strength to be able to sweep and get your weight underneath your opponent. That's something that I certainly try and do a lot in the gym. I know that you do as well. You're a big adopter of the kind of less traditional styles of game. There's so much action going on here. Brad's doing so well to create space and try and get around, but
Brad was not just accepting that, oh, we'll take each other out. He wants this win. He doesn't care if it's in the last 10 seconds. Aya looking for the pass. And pressure, Neon looking for an arm.
So he's got 30 seconds to make something happen now. There's going to be a lot of movement. Neither teams want these two guys to get eliminated. Desperately trying to get an isolating arm. It looks like he has got an arm isolated.
He's going to go for it, I think, with 20 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. This could be a double elimination. Aya finishing on top. Neon Belly looking for an arm. Looking for an isolation. Brad spinning through for a leg
Brad
attack.
Getting onto the leg. Has he got enough time? Oh, what a match.
Double elimination. Now it's who will each team member send out for their second match. Will they adjust the order? I guess they could change the order, couldn't they? They could be strategic about these things. It looks like Team Nexus is sending out Tom Brees, former UFC fighter.
Yeah, it looks like he's warming up. I think the terrifying thing is I'm fairly sure he competed at welterweight and he does not look like a welterweight to me.
It looks like he's taking on Jacob Casasflias. Jacob is clearly way smaller but super athletic, and this is what a moment. Can you imagine if he comes in against Tom Brees as the smaller fighter and taps him out or drags it to the full 8 minutes? I mean, Tom is such a well-decorated grappler on the UK scene. Everyone knows the name Tom Brees. Oh, this is a 4-minute match, I think, but this one because of the weight difference.
So, just for people watching at home to understand, to explain that a little bit, when there is I believe it is more than a 20-kilo weight difference, the match length drops to 4 minutes, and that's just to try and nullify the big advantages you get from obviously being 20 kilos heavier than your opponent.
And then some of the gamesmanship that comes with that is the small guy might just try and wait out the clock.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately you can't see that on your screens at the moment, but you will soon see that adjusted to what will now be 3 minutes 10. So if you imagine the countdown from there.
It's an issue though because Tom Brees is heavy on that neck.
Yeah.
And using this wall here, which we saw in the last match as well, you've got to think Tom Brees, all those MMA fights, all that training, he's going to have done so much wall work. Maybe he can drag this to that little bit of a padded panel there. Use a little bit of cunning.
And he's really using his height and his reach there to get on top of his opponent with those snap downs, isn't he? Controlling the posture.
Yeah.
It's got to be so difficult as a smaller guy to control that and stop that from happening. Nice little arm drag attempt there.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. He is not just looking to survive, he's looking to win.
And you've got to think that, yeah, that's beautiful.
Big takedown by Tom Brees.
And exactly like you say, you saw a little bit of wall work there, didn't you, before the takedown? I think the ref did well to...
Good. I mean, we have a padded wall there. You've got that little moment, and that's going to be an area of the game that Tom Brees is, we would assume vastly more experienced in. Now Tom has got to try and work for a finish from here.
And for those at home, that's 6 minutes now. Should be 2 minutes, I believe.
Yeah.
If you can imagine that in your mind's eye. Tom Brees in control.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I don't have the list of the weigh-in weight, so this is either a 4-minute or an 8-minute match. One of them. I think right now, Jacob would rather it was a 4-minute match and over quickly. It's an interesting position, jiu-jitsu, because you get to this point where you start to train with your idols, and I saw Jacob has watched Tom Breeze fight on TV, and now he's stuck under the bottom of side control.
Absolutely.
But he's made a good showing of himself, looking for that outside trip, setting it up.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he moves excellently. Tom's stepping over.
He's got his arm across his body, which is not a great place to be.
Yeah, he
takes away your ability to frame off his head, but it looks like he's working his elbow back out and around.
Yeah, what Jacob wants to do, usually you want to get your forearm in the face, you want to get your feet to the floor, bridge, make space, and try and get your legs between you. You know, your legs being much stronger than your arms. If you can get your legs in.
Great job of getting that underjack working. So he wants to get the left arm of his opponent above his head, and that's going to make that pass over to mount a lot easier, which he gets. I think he's got a little bit of a quarter guard retained, but he's in such a dominant position at the top there that I'm fairly sure he's only got 45 minutes to finish it, but he's got that elbow back down. Sorry, I'm so excited. Just talking gibberish.
Yeah, there's a little bit of conversation going on about exactly how long this match is. I'm going with the let's see what happens approach. Oh, look at the work by Jacob. Fantastic. He's giving up a huge amount of weight and experience, and he's making such a good show for himself. He's moving, he's escaping, doing everything correctly. Yeah, they're talking about the underhooks. This half guard battle, Jacob wants a left underhook so he can get onto his right hand side. Tom Breeze wants to keep the underhook and go to mount, which he's done. He's got the grapevines now. Bit of mother's milk you were talking about earlier on. Just squeeze people's heads. Occasionally you get a tap.
Is he gonna, I think Jacob's head is towards the right hand side, so he's just got enough space to breathe, but you see he's desperately trying to kip his way out of there. But those heavy hips of Tom Breeze, you can imagine that is a very unpleasant place to be.
Well, the worst place to be. Phenomenal.
It looks like he's got a bit of an underjack on the far side, maybe.
Yeah.
And he's just going to slowly work that up. Looks like we're going for the full 8 minutes. Apologies, that's my misunderstanding.
Yeah, somebody was 1 kilo too heavy. Tom is Tom wants to finish. You know, this is quintet. The goal is to try and take out as many members of the opposite team as you can. And Tom Breeze, he's a very strong member of this team, and he's gone in against someone a lot lighter. So the expectation is that he's got to try and find a finish, but it is hard. This is such high-level jiu-jitsu. People don't make mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like Tom's in a great position here. If this was MMA, he'd be dropping thunderous ground and pound, but this is jiu-jitsu, and it's all about getting the arms away from the body, making space, making movement. He's trying to make sure he keeps them out as well. We've seen Jacob's got very good escapes from here. He's on the hips. He's going to try and get to his side. He's going to try and trap a foot, see if he can get to quarter guard or half guard.
And you've got to say, we saw Jacob earlier in the card in a blue belt match. So he is a blue belt, and that's got to be a huge win if he can survive the rest of this round and get Tom Breeze eliminated.
It's phenomenal.
What does that do to the team morale?
Yeah, that's
got to be a huge win. I say this, and Tom is
he's doing a punch choke right now.
He's advancing his position. So absolutely hats off to Jacob to getting as far as he's got, but it does look as if
taking this match off, working out, and to go from I'm competing at the Milton Keynes Open in blue belt to I'm fighting Tom Breeze.
Exactly.
That's insane. And doing incredibly well.
One of the world's most decorated grapplers.
Yeah. Leon Edwards was talking about how phenomenal it's been having Tom Breeze in his camp, getting him ready for his UFC welterweight title fights.
Just a phenomenal experience level.
It's so tough, especially at this point. Maybe Jacob, he's not really trying to win anymore, he's just trying to survive. And it's really tough trying to tap out someone that's just trying to survive. Usually you catch people when they're trying to get you. They leave their arm out, there's aggression, but if they're just trying to live through this, and Jacob will go home and be like, yeah, that guy off the TV. Yeah, I went to draw with him. Yeah.
8 minutes.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
I survived.
That's fine. Oh, he's got the arm
looking good though. Tom's got just over a minute to get something done.
Jacob with a very good escapes. Oh, what work by Jacob to slip out of that. They want Tom Breeze's corner calling for an arm, but I think it's going to be so tough. Jacob is just so durable. We're looking at something special right here, I think. We're looking at a young blue belt that can Put so many, bit of a smother choke. I like it. I like it. Make him frustrated. It's a contact sport. It's under our Zion rules. Smothers are fine. You can put your hand across your opponent's mouth.
All subs are legal. We've got 30 seconds to play now, so this intensity is going to get.
Oh,
he's the triangle.
Oh, with a short time.
He's going to go for the armbar. He's got 20 seconds to make it happen. Oh, this is unbelievable.
Jacob's going to have the crowd go, whoa. Time!
That is a fantastic performance. An unbelievable level of attacks. So much technical skill in there, and Jack has managed to survive it. That is really, really impressive.
Wow.
That is really, really impressive. Going from competing at blue belt to managing to survive against one of the best in the world.
That's amazing. Incredible. Incredible. Wow. How exciting was the end of that?
Oh, that's incredible. Right. Who have we got next? We've got team captain Tom Coffrey stepping up to the mark.
Yeah, co-founder and head instructor at Lexus BJJ. He won a super fight on Polaris. He also won a super fight on Grapple Fest as well. Very, very experienced. He's taking on Ali Tajani.
So as it stands, neither team have a point, so we've got 3 more matches to go.
Yeah. And Ali's taken gold at a few big comps as well. He's very experienced.
God, that is so good.
The quality of these transitions. You're witnessing the movement of people that, well, maybe not have that particular movement, but the movement of people that have done 10,000 hours plus of training. A nice little bite on the foot.
That does not like a nice place to be.
Cool. He very experienced in the highest level in Polaris and Grapple Fest, but Ali as well. He's coming in with a few golds in a few really big competitions.
A little bit of crowd interaction there.
It's the London 24/7 got gold, Cage BJJ gold, Mauricio Gomez Cup got a gold. So he's not going to be easy to beat. This is so interesting, Patrick, because I thought Team Nexus were super strong favourites coming into this. And
absolutely.
It's all even after 2 rounds. And they took out, with a smaller fighter, a very heavy, dangerous fighter. So,
yeah, you've got to think that's a huge mental push for Team Elite to be able to have taken 2 of the strongest players off the board. But it still is all to play for. We've got 3.
And this is good to see. I mean, the last Zion Team Nexus just ran through it, let's be honest. Yeah. They made it look pretty easy. Now they're being challenged. Yeah, Ali's he's listening to Jed Hugh, very experienced grappler. He's giving advice from the crowd. Trying to set up some sweeps.
And this is what we were saying earlier about the technical. This is the stuff that's really difficult to kind of commentate on and describe to people watching, but this is a game or a battle of millimeters in there.
Yeah, it truly is. I mean, Ali's trying to get underneath. He's ideally like a right underhook, and he wants to make space. And then Tom on top, he wants to keep his left underhook and drive forward. And his right forearm and bicep in the face, he's trying to keep that. And you can see Ali's just trying to slip his head out. If his head comes away, he's going to have movement. Tom capitalizes, gets to a top position.
That's a beautifully executed pass. He worked really, really hard for that, and he got a fantastic position off the back of it.
Yeah, now he's got to do something with it. This is the problem. Not the problem. This is the great thing about this rule set. You get to a dominant position, it's not over. There's no points.
Yeah.
Now you got to do something. You're like, I did all that work. Like, now you got to find the submission. Now you got to work.
Yeah, it's step one done, which counts for a huge amount, but there's still the setup and the execution to go.
Keeping great pressure is Tom.
It's just so tight, isn't there? There's no space in there at all.
Yeah, he's blocking the hip with that left arm. It's normally side control, you use your knee and both knees, one knee on the hip and one knee on the head to keep the pressure, but a lot of wrestlers will do this where they drop the hand to the hip and it's not necessarily north-south, it's sort of angled off a bit. Now he's gone full north-south. And it's just so hard to escape.
And do you think he's looking to get some purchase on an elbow in this kind of position?
Yeah, there's a fundamental rule in jiu-jitsu. This the T-Rex rule, right? You want to keep your arms close. And you think about it, if you bring your shopping home from the Asda and it's close to you, it's easy to carry. If you hold it out arm length, it's very heavy. And that's the principle he's looking at here. Tom is trying to separate the arms from the body, or the legs possibly as well. Trying to get that distance, and then he'll be able to isolate an arm, stretch it out, and attack. But Ali's aware of that, of course. He's trying to keep everything tight, and if there's any millimetre of space, he'll be looking for escapes.
Keeping his friends close and his elbows closer.
Yeah, exactly that.
Like you say, he's just playing such a tight game. It's making it really, really difficult to get an elbow isolated or above his head. Working to get that left knee back inside. Try and create some space to recover his guard, but Tom making that almost impossible to do.
Yeah, Tom is certainly winning this match from an objective point of view. He's been on top, great passes, really good pressure, but it's a bit like Tom Brees in the last match. It's not enough just to be winning. You have to finish. That's what works in this silent format. It's why it's so exciting to watch as well. And it'll be another huge achievement for Team ESG if they take out Tom Kaki, they take out the captain of the other team.
Absolutely, and you see he's working to get that right elbow above head to try and expose a head and arm triangle, or there's loads of attacks from there, but he's doing a very, very good job of maintaining that quarter guard. That foot, sorry, looks like it's coming free.
It is, yeah.
Here we go.
And he's trying to bring that elbow up. There's going to be, well, as soon as you start bringing that elbow, it's much weaker. You know, you think about at home, if you holding on to something heavy and then you stick your elbows forward, it's going to feel a lot heavier. You're in a weaker position then. You can start looking for arm bars, triangle setups, or arm triangles.
Once you see that get into that position, it becomes incredibly difficult to be strong there. We might see an S-mount back take, maybe, Chris?
Yeah, possibly. He's looking for it. He's just trying to isolate an arm at the moment, but this game of millimeters is a tough one.
Good isolation of the wrist there.
And it's also great respect from Ali. I think he knows how good his opponent is.
Yeah, absolutely. He's playing it's a super tight game, isn't he?
Yeah.
Using his form, and that's what we call that framing off at the hips and the bottom of mount to try and get his legs up. Perhaps trying to use that kipping escape. Are we going to see that S-mount back take possibly?
Yeah, looking for smother chokes.
Yeah,
trying to get this
corner calling for the smother. Looks like we've got a punch choke coming in the top there as well.
I do like a punch choke.
Oh, don't we all?
It's a big guy thing.
I was lucky enough to be punch choked by Brandon McCatherine once, and it was one of the happiest moments of my life.
We have a weird life, don't we?
This is...
It is very similar to the last fight. We've got one fighter that keeps so good at retaining top position, retaining mount. But when you got someone on the bottom who's so good defensively, and Ali is, you know, he's not over committing to any escapes. He's not sticking his arms out. He's not making mistakes. Everything is tight. 1 minute 20 for Tom Kaki to start looking for submissions. I could see him maybe trying to mix it up.
Yeah,
diving an arm or a leg.
I wonder whether he's setting up that quarter guard maybe to step back onto a leg, perhaps.
Yeah, or just get him to a side to look for a back take. He's looking for the arm, I think, right now. He's trying to mess with the grips. You start bending the wrist. Oh, he's gone for the leg entanglement. Pistol Patrick Thick caught it.
Oh, go on, that knee bar's in.
Yeah. Oh! 7 minutes, 20 seconds into the match.
That's a huge victory. That is a huge victory. So now Tom Coffey stays on.
Yeah, and he, as much as it was right to the end of the match, so he's obviously going to be exhausted to a degree, but he was at no point was he bridging out or really exerting himself massively. He was being patient and slow. And I think he's probably going to want to stay on and give a good showing in the next match.
And that is a fantastic example of how to win a match. So, and I think this is a skill that really gets learned at the highest level, where you've tried all sorts of stuff, you're in really dominant positions, you're trying a lot of stuff and it's not quite working or going your way, and you have to change something and do something different right at the very end to get a win. And that was a beautiful execution of that. Jumping on a far side leg, pulling that knee bar.
Incredible. Now we have Nico coming out representing Team ESG. Pulls. God gets on top very early. He's a little bit smaller as Nico than his opponent, but seems to be quite happy to get the takedown and get on top.
So now this puts Nexus in a really, really strong position. They've got 2 more fighters to come out.
Yeah, if they want to, if ESG want to even this up, they're going to need to. They need Nico to get a quick finish.
Absolutely.
Oh, and he is. He's got a nice bite on a calf crush. Look at that. Tom Cohe's saying calf crushes don't work. I think they work. Looking for a hold in the feet. Maybe looking for a leg entry of his own. Tom's being patient. You know, he's going to be fatigued now from that first match. He's got to choose his moments of when he's going to use that energy. What makes you think of like a computer game? You've got that energy bar.
Absolutely.
In the corner. Yeah. You don't want to blow it out too soon. Tekken. Oh, you're old. I'm Street Fighter on the Mega Drive. You probably don't know what that is. It's a bit like this, but less exciting.
This does feel a lot like we're kind of millionaires on a desert island somewhere, and we've got some of the best grapplers in the world to come and, you know, to come and compete on this show. Because there's just, you know, you think these guys are the best, and we get to see, you know, that first match, Brad versus Aya. That is a huge pay-per-view event, and we got to see it in front of us. It's incredible.
It's interesting. Tom doesn't seem to even be engaging in the wrestling. It's just sort of, he's like, yeah, you can take me down. I don't care. What are you going to do? I'm too tired. Just shoot a double. Let's go on the floor. And I mean, Nico's he's pushing the pace, isn't he? He's pushing the pace. He's grappling someone much bigger than him, shooting, being aggressive, showing his wrestling. But that's the issue. That's the size difference. Just the snap.
And I think I heard Kevin from his corner, Kevin Webb, who's, I believe, the owner and head coach at Nexus.
Yep.
Just calling it for them to come to you. They're with 1 win ahead, and that is a huge position to be in. The ESG have really got to push the pace to get the victory now.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, Tom could just run out the clock here, but I don't think he's going to as he dives on a Kimura. Oh, just run out of space. I think the reset stood up. Oh, you can't reset with a grip, surely.
Ref slapping their competitor there, I'm not sure.
You can't start with a grip. I think that was fair of Nico to not want to restart in a Kimura.
Yeah, I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah, yeah, it was the Rusamir Pal Harris reset at ADCC where it got reset and he had a heel hook, and they were like, we'll put you back in the heel hook. And it was not a great idea. Nico doing a good job of pummeling in, looking for the pass. Yeah, the pace of Tom Corky has slowed down a little bit. It's probably I mean, he's kind of 12 minutes into wrestling and grappling.
And we're halfway through this match now, so there's a lot of time to go, and you can't help but feel like the momentum. Can't help but feel like the momentum of Nico is starting to go in his favour. There was a big shove into the wall there. I can't imagine that landed particularly well. And
this is what he's going to do. You know, he's got an opponent who's bigger and stronger, but his advantage right now is that he's tired. He's got to push the pace, Use his speed, use his agility. The crowd was
having a fire word there. Not sure what that was about.
Quite enjoy it when someone in the crowd just shouts the worst advice.
Yeah. Try and go for a submission.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no.
I was trying. I don't know if you're aware of this. Look at that. Okay, Nico.
Don't accept it is my favourite.
Yeah.
When people are getting past.
Yeah, this is very true. He's like, yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nico using this like knee shield game, coming through, like false reaping, or he would like to, just like that. Tom with 3 minutes to go. At this point, you know, Tom might be happy with a double elimination. Puts his team ahead, and they got 1 more to beat and 2 men to beat him.
Exactly that, and that's, I think, Kevin Webb is all too aware of that, and knows that if we go into a double elimination of this one, it's essentially a 2-1 remaining.
Yep.
And it's going to need a pretty unbelievable performance from the 5th fighter, or the captain, Matea.
But he's a very well-decorated grappler, is Mateo. He's a... If there's any one man that could do it, he might be the one. But can Tom do a repeat? Can he snatch a submission right at the end?
We've got 2.5 minutes left, so we're relatively short on time. You got to think that Nico's going to start pulling something out of the bag.
It looked like he was going for the jumping scissors then, for the Kani Basami, but I don't think he quite got it.
Have you seen that go wrong before?
So many times. And like, I'm not a fan of making things illegal. I think you want as minimum rules as possible. But of all the moves, that's probably the one. Jumping guard and Kani Basamis, I can live without those. That's what just people's legs exploding. Just makes me like a heel hook. At least it goes on slowly. Here we go. 2 minutes to go. Tom Kaki.
Nico with a little bit of airtime there.
Yeah.
So 90 seconds left.
Yeah. Nico's corner saying they want to finish, but I mean he is trying. He's doing everything he can. He's been shooting for takedowns. He's been active. He's tried guard pulling. He's got sort of throwing the kitchen sink at Tom.
Yeah, Nico knows he's short time now, and he's really putting the pressure on. What do you think we'll see? Maybe are we going to see a guard pull, do you think? Just to try and get it onto the ground, or do you think we'll continue?
Or flying armbar?
Flying armbar, yeah.
Why not?
Stupid suggestion from me. Flying armbar is much more interesting.
It's interesting Tom just decided to sit down. Maybe he feels like he's got the best chance of... Is he trying to survive, or is he like, let's go for a finish?
Yeah.
But it's not worked out well. Nico transitioning to side control with...
a great guard pass there.
Yeah, 47 seconds to go. The half guard is going to be great for Tom here. He can probably hold onto the foot, wait out the clock, comes out on top.
Great reversal there. You can see Nico was very, very high on his hips.
We are 30 seconds away from a double elimination. And then Team ESG will be on to their last fighter. Pressure from the crowd. They want action. Both these guys are trying with 12 seconds to go.
All right, 10 seconds left. You've got to think you're going to see something exciting now.
Just running out of time is the problem for Nico. It's also, you got to admire him. He's took the decision, someone that clearly got a big weight advantage over him. Tom was coming in fatigued, but he's still, 20-30% bigger than Nico.
Yeah, really impressive, really impressive. And a great result for, you got to think that's a great result for Nexus now. They've got their captain coming out, Mateo, to try and take out 2 of the remaining Nexus fighters.
Yep. Ooh. Thomas coming out.
Don't chase him, Tom. Chase him. Use your judo. Go away. Use your stand up.
Yeah, Thomas Grandjean taking on the much decorated Mateo Florena. Mateo's a brown belt. He broke someone's leg on Ocean BJJ Pro. Grappling Industries gold medalist as well. A Ritsu grappling champion. That's good at leg locks.
Very nice grip on the leg there. I think that was a K-guard entry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Mateo really well known for his leg locks, and
that's a great grip. That's a great grip.
Ooh. Good work by Tom to spin out.
I'm getting excited.
No, no, you can talk over me all you want.
It's just, you can see how dangerous this
Mateo is. Yeah.
Mateo is from the guard position. Sorry.
He's had so many wins from leg locks in competitions, including the leg break, and he's got such good dynamics for it. And if he gets this early on, especially, he'd be going into the last match. It'd be the 1v1 with very little time.
The speed that he's getting on those heels is terrifying.
Yeah, he's done that thousands of times in class. You can see it. This is what Mateo wants. Mateo wants to, I think we'll probably see him fake a pass and then sit back and try and look for a leg entanglement. He just needs a deep one. Now he's looking at use some top pressure. He's so big and strong. Tom from the bottom is trying to make space, but he's also very aware of, you know, his legs have been dived on multiple times already. Looks like he's going to push the knee, standard sort of back step to honey hole attempt. Tom too good for that. Oh, nice work by Tom to get on top.
Yeah, that's a nice shift of momentum of the match, isn't it?
And that's what it is. Sometimes you get a rhythm, and then your job is to break that rhythm and surprise your opponent. Yeah, oh, what an entry!
Beautiful entry into honey hole.
Phenomenal.
Is there a knee bar there?
Tom very calm, just trying to work his leg out of it.
That was such a beautiful entry. Now got a grip of his own.
Yeah, he's coming inside, putting pressure. I think Tom would like to pass. He'd like to get to a position where he doesn't have to deal with his leg entanglements and he can use his pressure game. And Mattea, he's doing what he wants, I think. It's just keep getting a bar on the leg. He's just been millimeters away a couple of times. Just need to get slightly deeper with it. Yeah, he's false sweeping, inverting, trying to roll through for the leg. He's grabbing the other leg now, trying to pull it through. You grab the heel, you twist the leg, and then your opponent has to go with you then. Great work by Tom to stop that. Mattea's so calm. Look at him. He looks like he's not even breathing heavy. It's just every day in the gym, he's clearly just doing this. Just false sweeping, inverting, leg locking, K-guarding, inverting, leg locking.
This is unbelievable. Such a tight match.
I've been a bit surprised by how I sort of saw Nexus as huge favourites going into this. You felt like there was a couple of guys that might have blasted through the whole of team of ESG, but this has not been the way. ESG have shown a really good account for themselves, and right now Mattea is deep on the foot.
That looks incredibly deep.
Well, he's lost the knee line again.
Knee line, yeah.
This is what Tom's doing great. He's always just that little bit too far away. He's just always defending beautifully.
Yeah, he's managing distance incredibly well from the bottom position. He's not letting his knee line get tangled up in the early grabs.
Yep. And if Tom can last another 3 minutes 40 seconds, Team Nexus take home that trophy again, the Samurai Trophy. Yeah. I mean, Team Nexus has sort of figured out Mattea's game. Does like backstepping for leg locks, K-guarding into leg locks, and yeah, well, I mean, we've all got our game.
Tom Coffrey suggesting a big step over to knee bar there. I'm not sure where, not sure why that's the top of his mind.
He's done a really good job, Tom, of keeping his legs safe. You're in this position where you want to extend to get a sweep and mess with the base, but Mattea's so good at backstepping and coming into his legs like they're right there, like what he's looking for, that you're in this vulnerable position. It limits your guard playing. So, yeah, he's trying to backstep again. Misses the bite on the leg. Tom uses it to come up. Fantastic. I mean, he was basically baiting it, wasn't he? He wanted him to, such a dangerous leg locker, and he wanted him to backstep so he could come up and get the pass.
The technical level here is just phenomenal, isn't it? I know I'm saying that over and over again.
It's so true, and we're seeing it right here. Mattea's pummeling in, working through lots of different types of guards. And Mattea's got this beautiful, very modern game as well. This sort of the false reap and the K-guard game, it's sort of very new, started being popularized. Mattea's worried about the time. He wants a time pause on the resets. He doesn't want to run out of time. He's only got 2 minutes now. Mattea wants to take out two members of Team Nexus, but he's got to deal with the one first.
These leg entries.
Oh, comes out for a leg attack of his own.
That looks so tight.
That's looking nasty. Lost the knee line, I think, again. Woo! It's giving me a little bit of anxiety.
What do you have to do to leg lock Tom? This is phenomenal defense.
He's unleg lockable. I mean, it's got to be the insane.
Right, we've just got
Thomas Grandjean, your knees are made of rubber. It's also, I mean, his defense is so on point. He never turns the wrong way. He's always making distance, and he doesn't panic either. Quite often the panic allows the re-pummel, then you get deeper on the legs. Yeah, and he hasn't been giving up the knee line at all. He's just been able to drag it out as soon as they get the bites. And with 1 minute to go, he's on top. And if this goes another minute, that will be it. And the Team Nexus will be all champions. It's a little sad. I want to see Lyndon Collins fight.
And you've got to think that something is going to get pulled out of the bag in the last 30 seconds, and I'm not sure which side it's going to come from.
Oh, he's got his own bite on the heel, does Tom Grandjean.
Oh, 20 seconds left.
Short time. Running out of room. Oh, slips the leg. Can he survive the next 6 seconds?
This is just unbelievable.
Woo! Team Nexus take the win.
Take the win.
They did not have it easy though.
That was an unbelievable display from absolutely every player on that team.
I mean, I think Jacob's my performance of the night. Phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to, for a blue belt to come into a competition like this on a live stream, hundreds of people watching against one of the very best in the world, and manage to survive that round to get rid of one of their strongest opponents. That's a huge win.
Wow, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Team Nexus, as always though, came in super prepared. Clearly all in great condition as well, all working out together, rolling together, training together. Some of the best guys in the country right there, maybe in the world.
Absolutely. And I think Kevin cannot wait to get, he's got an arm injury at the moment, which means that he can't compete with the guys. Yeah, mate. Must be very difficult as an injured coach to watch your team and not be able to be in there with them.
Incredible. Also less stressful. I'd have to choke anyone perfect.
We'll see you next time.
Wow, what a day it's been here at Zion. Look at the replays from some of those matches. We saw Brad Boyden on top, putting huge pressure. And then the takedowns of Aya as well. That first 8 minutes was incredible. And then that takedown and then ended up on the bottom. Just absolutely phenomenal. Brad trying to get on the leg, running out of time.
Final seconds.
Yeah. Taking on to the best.
Phenomenal takedown from Tom Breeze, lifting him 10 feet in the air before bringing him back down, trying to get him on through the floor onto the bottom level, and just managing to survive an unbelievable barrage of attacks.
And Tom Breeze was throwing the literal kitchen sink at him, like trying everything at the end of that match. Then we moved on, and it was trying to get Ali out of there, but he was so durable. Like his survival skills are incredible. And we were talking about defense earlier, like the defense is incredible. And then Nico going in there, taking on someone 20-30 kilograms heavier, and Tom managing to drag it out despite that exhaustion from the previous match.
Despite getting a little bit of airtime there as well.
Yeah, and the flying armbar.
Push away. So listen, we've had an unbelievable day of grappling.
Give me some of your highlights, come on.
I think we've had, I'm a very biased commentator, as you know, but we've had a fantastic set of performances from 10th Planet Banbury. I think we've had a full sweep of victories. So I'm
very good.
Michael Budd put on a great display, Laura put on a great display, but I think it's very hard to argue that the highlight was Tom Strong versus Tyler Harding. Tyler coming in 24 hours notice against a much more experienced competitor with an unbelievable pedigree. A properly back and forward match. It looks like Tom was getting the momentum, he was getting the more dominant positions, and then Tyler just being able to pull it out with what, 2 minutes left or a minute left, and being able to hold on to that armbar. Just unbelievable.
Absolutely incredible. You're in front of the camera.
We're still going.
We're still going.
So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Could not believe that, absolutely made up for the teammates there. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, there's that. It's been such an incredible guard. Just the atmosphere for the quintet was the thing for me. It was I think sometimes jiu-jitsu competitions, it can be a little dry, and like that format is just so exciting. And then it also sort of, in my mind, it over-delivered a bit, because I thought Team Nexus, you know, obviously we were very objective on the commentary, but I thought Team Nexus, like, they could just run through them.
Yeah.
It looked a little one-sided. I thought maybe Aya, S. Fernandez would give them a little trouble, but that would be about it. But no, Team ESG, you know, they came in and they lost, but they really made a great showing for themselves.
Absolutely.
And we saw
really, really work for it, and there was a good few moments there where we were wondering which way it was going to go.
Yeah, so young blue belt talent, like coming in and taking on UFC fighters, black belt UFC fighters that are bigger than them, and dragging it out. Absolutely incredible. And of course, working with you, Patrick. The highlight of the day. Come on.
Stop it. Absolutely. And I'm very sad to say that we're going to have to wait another 9 months before we do it again. But I'm
9
sure
months
when
away.
we do, I think it's something along those lines.
We need 2 a year at this point. Come on.
Absolutely.
3 a year.
Absolutely.
Every month. Let's
Chris,
do it.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone watching live on the pay-per-view as well.
I hope everybody at home has enjoyed it as much as we have. That really did feel like a private and exclusive display of some of the best grapplers in the world. Felt very, very privileged to be part of it. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.